Thank you for joining the Dash Boots podcast. Today we have a boy. Boy, introduce yourself.
Today's episode of the Dash Boots podcast is
Oh, there we go.
sponsored by the smooth, refreshing taste of Coke Zero.
Holy shit.
Wow, we couldn't even get normal Coke.
We couldn't get normal Coke to sponsor us, so we got Coke
We
Zero.
can just
I would even
mix
settle
Coke.
for Pepsi.
I'll have you know that Coke Zero's marketing budget is phenomenal.
I'll have you know that we didn't get Pepsi.
I'll have you know that 10-calorie Diet Dr. Pepper is the best beverage of all time.
I'll have you know that
10 calorie Dr. Pepper as opposed
it's
to
10
0 calorie Mountain
Diet.
Dew.
it must only be 10 calories. I must not have more, no less.
Oh my god.
Pretty much.
Alright,
So yeah,
Oh, I'll let you go.
I was gonna actually introduce myself. So as you can probably see on the Twitch header, I don't know if there's an audio version of this podcast. If there is, too bad. Hi, my name's Kevin. I run the YouTube channel known as The Golden Bolt on YouTube. It is at youtube.com//Steve.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, it works.
It'll work.
I'm looking it up right now and it works.
No, Trav.
Also,
Oh, shit.
also, Trav, I could have sent you like the actual art for my bolt. By the way, you didn't need to just take a square.
Oh,
From
I
my
mean, if
YouTube
you have it, I could set that up real quick.
Yeah,
No,
I'm pretty
no,
sure I've sent it to you many
JPEG.
times.
You probably actually. Yeah, let me grab that.
no, leave the shitty JPEG, please.
Just throwing it out there. Here, I'll
Okay.
send you my sample.
No, I got it. It's right here.
Now, take that one. This one's better.
Hey guys, it's Christmas in August. How you doing?
Where did? Oh, Christmas bolt.
Yeah, I have a Christmas bolt.
Okay,
Hey,
I
RPG
couldn't
now
tell.
says
I couldn't tell who was singing that, and I don't want to know actually. Now that I think about it,
RPG Nut says leave the fucking JPEG. It is
You'll leave
good.
it. All right, I'll have that there, and then I'll add another one. So we'll do
Just leave all iterations
add
of it.
source. Yeah, just give me the flesh bolt too.
Oh yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Flesh
Ooh, I don't
bolts?
want to know what that is.
No. This okay. Hey
Band.
guys.
You want the expanding brain ones?
Whoa.
Oh wait, I haven't heard about this.
Hold on, they're coming up now. Hold on, you're gonna get them all.
Hey guys, welcome to the SCP podcast.
Just put them all. Just put them all.
All right, there we go. All right, we got one.
No,
what is
tilt
this?
it.
We got Christmas
Oh.
bolt. We got
What is
JPEG bolt.
What is
What are you
that?
doing to the text?
What is that one you just sent me? Hold on. Oh my! How many of these do you have?
At least 6.
He has enough bolts for each time of the year.
Oh, they came out
Negative
of order
bolt.
too. Hold on. They're in order of by number. You can read them.
Concern.
You can no, don't be concerned. The first half hour of this podcast is dedicated to just adding avatars of me to the stream.
podcast.
We're adding avatars. Like I don't have any. I could.
There's a lot of overhead when you feature me on a podcast. You have 90 pixel space for each avatar and 35 avatars.
All I vote is that we just have this in the corner.
What is it? Hold on.
Oh no.
So,
Do you have a
Official start of the
transparent
podcast?
version of that?
I can make one. Give me uno momento, por favor.
What'd you say, Bolt?
is this the official start to the podcast, or are
Yeah,
we,
yeah,
or is
we're
it-
going.
Oh, okay.
We're going, man. We're live.
We're not that professional.
What's professional?
Exactly.
We're talking about a podcast where I slam my hand with on my table as like comedy.
Yeah. Where people would
Ooh, that was
occasionally
meteor.
Christ.
people would have
Why is the
people would
flesh bolt so
compete.
big?
Whoa!
Hold on, let me set it to studio mode so you don't see me adjusting it in real time.
Nah.
Probably a good
Nah.
idea.
Why is he so small?
Cause
Yeah,
it's
why is
an,
the flesh?
it's an
Why is my flesh smaller?
hold on.
I should call somebody. I think.
Oh no! Oh, for a second I thought you made the whole screen dimmer, but it was just Twitch buffering for
Oh
me.
my gosh, the negative bolt does not like being small.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boy.
It's a big boy.
Strong man.
Alright, there we go. That's wait, hold on. How many of these did you give me? Like do I have an
like
even
5.
number of them? Okay.
No.
No. Oh wait,
I like
wait.
how it's just fizzy bolt.
Yeah, it's just fizz. All right, hold on. It's almost complete. Give me just a second. And I
Fizzy
will-
bolt? Oh god, it is. This is a deep fried meme.
I had a full like flesh one, not flesh one, expanding brain one. I don't know if I have it anymore.
Stop using the term flesh. It worries me.
Oh, here it is. I'm sending you the whole one too.
One thing you should know
Yeah,
about Golden Bolt is that when he's not doing YouTube, he's also making flesh memes.
Yeah, that's like 90% what I do is I make flesh.
Oof. Oh,
That
we can't
is-
be friends.
That is a hobby. I'm gonna have to call the police.
No, don't worry. Hold on.
Hello, 911.
Here we go.
Flesh.
Just I put it in the Discord server.
There we go. Oh,
Oh,
oh, that's.
Oh, yeah.
No.
he just
For the folks at home, we now have a flesh Elmo sitting in our chat log, and I'm
I don't
pretty
got a
sure there's a better like image in your head than what's on screen.
just
Hold
just
on,
imagine
I'm in, like, not the chat log. Like I'm confused right now.
general
Hold
chat.
on, I have better ones.
Oh, is
Hold
it
on.
general?
Yeah. For the people at home, it's
Bill, what is this picture of yours?
Worry about it.
for the people at home, just imagine Elmo but without fur, but kind of like a hairless rat.
No, he's still got fur. It's just flesh colored.
Here,
It's literally just Detroit Become Human.
Sorry, I'm just gonna drop that for you.
Oh.
Oh,
For anyone, so just anyone in the chat right now.
Oh,
There's that one.
Dude, I should learn how to set up like timed pop-ups for OBS, and have that image of me that you put an Infinity Gauntlet on just occasionally pop up, like
yeah.
at the bottom
Send
right,
pop up, ban half the people.
every like 5 seconds. Yeah,
Make it
every
banned.
time he shows up, it just kicks half of the people at random.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
I wonder if I could set something like that up.
No.
Dude,
Probably
if I
could.
knew enough coding, dude, give me like a week, give me a month, and I will break your.
Give me 6 years and I'll get it done.
Give me a day. No wait, a week. No wait, a year.
I will
By the way, pay my
eventually
college.
get it. pay my college, Dad.
Pay my college, and I'll ban half your guys.
Speaking of college, how's everyone's week been? Let's start with
Spider-Man.
Travis.
I've had an up and down week, lots of different shit going on, but it's getting better. Today I actually woke up feeling pretty fucking good. I got like 5 hours worth of editing done today, and that's more than I've done in a while. And overall, I'm doing pretty good. Nothing new, other than I think that I have put over like 10 hours into the Mega Man 11 demo.
That's
Isn't it one level?
Yeah, and it's like a 5-minute level.
You're like scraping at the bottom of that barrel for like
I'm
a
doing the
reference
math on that.
I'm
towards
having-
Give me a
everything.
sec.
I'm having just so much fun just going through that demo and just
How many hours?
seeing,
10?
like 10. I don't. Okay, I could actually check realistically. I just said 10 is an
realistically
exaggeration.
speaking, if the level is 5 minutes long and you've been spending 10 hours, you've played the level 120 times.
120? That's more than like 6.
Do you expect any less than or? Let me try that again. Do you expect any less from me?
I guess
Yeah.
not,
Oh, people
but
are-
I'm still concerned as a friend.
Let's see. Profile. Trev. Where is? Oh,
You have to wait like 10 or like.
it doesn't
yeah.
say how long I've been playing it. It just says that I played it 5 days ago.
Yeah, you have to wait like
After a
10
couple
days.
weeks. Yeah.
Duh.
Too much.
Yeah, it doesn't want to tell me how long I've been playing it for.
Fair enough. I don't think I want to know. That would worry me.
Regardless.
all right.
All right. How about you, Bill? How have you doing? How have you done? Fuck.
Oh man,
How have you done?
I have been extremely dead as of late.
Mood.
So at my work now, I am also now doing midnight releases.
All right, you work at
Yay!
GameStop.
I want to die.
Wait, I
So-
thought midnight releases don't exist anymore. I thought they do it at like 9.
Yeah,
or 10
now they're 9 o'clock releases.
Okay.
But, like, in our policy, it still says midnight releases. But technically, in California, the game comes out at midnight.
Oh, fucking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's dumb. So, I had to work the 20th anniversary of NBA 2K19. There was riots outside about like it wasn't the base game, it was the $100 version. Even though we had a literal like piece of paper that said, "Hey, this is for the 20th anniversary owners. For the love of God, we are not selling the base game yet. That is 5 days from now, please."
Ooh.
Jesus
With
Christ.
that added on, the next 2 days were me explaining to people.
Hello?
Oh. I think he died. The prophecy came true.
Bill's fucking dead. Hold on,
Oh no, then Travis snapped him.
I'll give. I'll give. This is a very professional podcast.
Now it's time for a word from our sponsors.
Uh,
The fresh, refreshing taste of
You get
Coke
snapped
Zero.
back.
Vanilla flavored.
No.
sorry, I just came back from the dead. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I don't blame you for dying. He just
Anyways,
took
yeah,
vanilla flavored
2K19
Coke.
was bad, at least from like a retail standpoint. However, like thank God they gave us digital codes we could just sell infinitely.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like at least that was the best like turnaround. But the best thing about that 20th anniversary night was that we had a lot more people out for Spider-Man,
yeah.
and there were some pretty rad cosplays going on.
I know. I should have worn my onesie on the reel. Or not my
I-
onesie.
I had the
morph suit.
idea when we went down there, and I completely forgot before we left.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I would have been the fat Spider-Man. It would have been great. I would have been the only Spider-Man.
There was
Um,
no one dressed as Spider-Man at that midnight release.
Oh, dude, we had literally an email from like every district store leader, like, hey, here's our pictures and here's our Spider-Mans. Also,
Oh.
here's one doing a weird ass Fortnite dance. That's funny.
Fucking
Oh
orange
shit, do I have the
Justice
game set to
Spider-Man.
Metroid Prime? Hold up.
Give
me a second.
Travis is playing Metroid Prime.
It
Yeah,
does
man,
say
you're playing
Metroid,
Metroid
Prime.
Prime.
Oops. Fixed.
Hashtag very professional.
Anyways, the biggest highlight of that though is that for a limited time, and I mean limited because it literally sold out within the next 2 hours, the PS4 Spider-Mans were up. The
How
special
dare you.
edition Spider-Mans.
How fucking
Wait, could
dare
not
you?
pre-order him?
They-
No, the warehouse just had 100 left.
What the hell? That's awesome, but damn.
Yeah, and like literally, I couldn't get them in my store. But there's like an option for like, oh, we could just ship it to your house and whatnot, yada yada yada. It's like $10 for delivery or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
know?
That's what I
Um,
did with my.
I luckily had like 4 more people come in for those, and like on the fifth person, I literally try to do it, and it says we have no more. Ban. That was a fun weekend, but also a very tiring weekend. We'll say that much. Besides that, I've been playing a lot of Yakuza Kiwami, too. What a game. What a fucking game.
Wait, there's a new Yakuza?
Yeah, there's
Uh,
like they come out like with 4 per year now, pretty much.
Pretty
It's your
much.
season, okay?
They just announced a new one, which isn't even Yakuza this time. It's was it Judge Eyes? Is that what it's called?
Nope. It's I was actually gonna get into this really like once we got into like the news portion. It's called Project Judge. I'll
Yeah,
talk
that's what it
about
was.
that in like a hot minute.
Judge Dredd.
Ah,
Jeez.
Judge Judy.
But like Kiwami 2 is a remake of 2, which is actually the best Yakuza game. And yeah, there's not a lot to say about it other than hey, this is on the new Dragon engine. It's still the best story. Now there's like they were like Yakuza 6 didn't have enough side quests. All right, now there's 104 side quests. What
I
fun.
don't think I've. Holy shit! I don't think I've heard that complaint before.
Yeah. The best part is that like now you can do pretty much every single type of style move within one combo list. You can even get the stuff from Yakuza 6 if you find that certain like side quest dealer, which is badass, honestly. And above it all else, we finally got Majima as a playable character, which by God, I missed that so much. Because like in Zero, you got to play both as Majima and Kiryu. and Majima had the better like moveset overall. He was just a lot more fun and wacky to play with, and in this one, he literally is just a sporadic, like flying monkey with a knife. It's great. It's fun.
Sounds cool.
When I say play Yakuza 0, I mean go play Yakuza 0.
One day, I will finally
Soon.
just strap down and play Yakuza.
One day I'll have the cash to do it.
Besides that,
But you know what people are playing?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man?
No.
No.
What?
No, Spider-Man. I was hoping something would come into my head sooner, but nothing did.
Payday 2?
Garfield Kart.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, people are playing it. 4 people.
Yeah.
Actually, let me get the live stats on that for you
Yeah,
guys.
can you go check Steam?
Hey, Matt, while you're at it, can you check the Dark Souls Remastered
Oh, Lord.
stats as well?
Is there still drama about the Dark Souls Remastered?
Oh,
Shit.
no, it's just
I didn't
that
know
it's
there was
actually-
drama.
Is that the PvP zone is just kind of dead?
Oh,
Oh, hey guys. So, for the last half hour, 46 people have been playing Garfield Kart.
wow.
See? That's more people
So-
than Dark Souls Remastered.
Let's actually
Already?
find that out. Dark Souls Remastered stats. I should probably put Steam stats for this one.
Wait,
Wonder
what
if it's
other
actually gone up.
stats would you be checking?
For the last half hour, 583 people.
That's kind of low for a Dark Souls game.
Well, the all-time
That's-
peak is 2,000 or 24,000.
Ah,
And that was when?
That was all-time peak. That was
Probably
right when the game
release
first
date.
came out. Yep.
Yep. Usually, like, a Dark Souls game has around 1,000 to 2,000. Before Remastered launched, there were still 1,000 people, like, in PvP in Dark Souls 1.
oh, you know
Damn,
what?
that
You know
game
what? I
came out
forgot
in,
to
like,
ask.
2009.
Kevin, how are you doing, buddy? I forgot to ask you.
I'm dead inside.
Oh,
No, I'm good.
Understandable.
I just got back from work earlier. I'm drinking a Coke Zero. I'm good.
Having a nice, relaxing evening, and then we dragged you into this shit.
I could be playing Spider-Man right now.
hey, you know what? Me too, man, but we're in the same boat.
I
already
think Bill
beat it.
was playing Spider-Man before we dragged him in.
Maybe I was.
I was gonna, but I was decided to wait just in case you guys started
But then I got
on
hacked.
time.
Yeah.
Just I mean, I guess, actually, you know what? Fucking no, do get high and then come on the podcast. That would get interesting.
Oh yeah, I can go make some Jack and Coke right now.
No,
Double the shot.
okay.
Get fucked
No,
up.
no. Let's save that for Christmas.
Ooh.
The Christmas.
Okay. bet.
If someone reminds me, if anyone here in the chat reminds me around Christmas, hey, you promised to do a drunk podcast, I will officially send money to Travis for alcohol.
That is
Bet.
that is not a good idea.
Oh, it is a
Fucking
very
bet.
good idea.
I'm gonna be the dad of this podcast.
doing
I
it.
would not recommend this.
I'm gonna slide you a 20 and then tell you forgot about it, okay?
All right, I'm setting up. We doing a Christmas podcast on the 18th or the 25th?
Yeah, both.
Yes.
24-hour podcast.
That's a little longer than 24, dude.
I like the idea of
18 to
two
the
separate
25th.
Christmas podcasts.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Next week is actual Christmas.
It's just pre-Christmas
Yeah.
for people who pre-ordered it early and got the special edition Christmas.
It's not
This is-
Christmas Eve. It's
This
Christmas
is subs
Eve.
only Christmas time.
Oh my gosh. Bamiki in chat. 2 Christmases. It's like my parents' are divorce.
Oh, oh no.
Mood. Got
My
him.
dad.
Kevin, what have you been playing? Tell me.
Okay, so how long do you want me to go back? Because when I was young,
All right. We want to go back to the Newgrounds age, right?
okay,
Oh,
so
Lord.
Newgrounds is for sinners. I started with Sonic 1, and I repressed that memory for years, apparently, but that was the first game I ever played. And I didn't know this until I was like 18. And then after that, I started playing Mario 64. My stepdad had an N64. He's dead now, but he had one at launch when it first came out.
This
And
is such an Irish story.
And yeah, so I played that for a while, and then I played Ocarina of Time when that came out, obviously, because he was a big Zelda guy. I still have the original cart that he got day one, so it has the music that was changed in the patch cartridge later down the road. But like I said, he's dead,
That's
And now,
so I'm good.
okay, Spider-Man, calm down.
ow! Something in my throat just popped.
You're welcome.
You just fucking killed Travis.
Ow!
Mission accomplished. I can go back to Mother Russia.
Assassinate the Trav.
Why did the Russians come after me in the first place? What did
Dr.
I do
Wally's
wrong?
plan it can now go
We know
into
what you
recession.
did.
Where's my son?
Dr. Wally wins.
Dr. Wow.
Game over.
That's a good question.
But
Oh.
yeah, no, I've been good. I've been playing Spider-Man. I have a good story with Spider-Man. And it's convenient that we're talking about the story right here on Amazon-owned Twitch. Because Amazon, fuck you for messing up my order. Thanks.
Oh no. What happened?
Yeah, so I was at work Friday morning. The day Spider-Man's supposed to come out. This is to date this video. That was September 7th, for those of you that aren't in the know. And I was at work, and I got an email from Amazon, and I noticed the night before, I was like, it hasn't shipped yet. I'm kind of concerned. Because normally when it doesn't ship for like a new game release, before the day of release, half the time they decide it's going to be delayed. Mind you, the moment that Spider-Man was revealed at E3, I was literally, I can almost guarantee you, one of the first 100 people to pre-order this game.
Jeez.
Back in, like, what was it, 2016? I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and they fucked up my order. And so I was pissed off after work, so I drove very fast over to GameStop and very angrily bought a copy, wrote Amazon a very nasty email, and then went back to playing Spider-Man. And it's been a good time. I enjoy Spider-Man. It's been fun. I like it a lot.
It's literally the best Far Cry game we've had in a long time.
I was telling Matt that this looks like the best Arkham game yet.
Well, what I've been saying is, and this is going to be a point of discussion here, I'm sure, is that the way I'm seeing Spider-Man is the way that everybody else always said Arkham was, but something that Arkham never actually was, and that's fun.
Ouch!
Oh.
Because
You
Arkham
know-
could be as good of a game as you want it to be. I'm sure it's a fantastic series. I know my buddies all very much love it, but it's never been fun. It's just been a game.
I think like the best things I loved about the Batman games was like when you threw your boomerang around and you got to like control it and stuff.
See, like,
That was probably the highlight.
Like
as much as I disagree with you, I can't really debate that because I can't say you're wrong.
A lot of it to
Just
me
my
is-
opinion.
So what it came down to me is, okay, so let me backtrack. As you can tell by my username here on all the interweb services of some sort, I'm a big Ratchet and Clank fan. Insomniac is probably hands down my favorite single developer of any company. And so when I saw they were making a Spider-Man game, knowing their development teams and their resources and their history, I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried because Insomniac never handled a project this big. And I know they said from the start, we have both of our main teams working on this one game. But to have announced it right after Ratchet and Clank had just released, and to see how it looked and to see how everyone was already immediately kind of worried about the swinging and, you know, the physics of it all, even when they said, oh no, this is actual physics-based, you know, momentum-based swinging, I sat there and I was like, I don't know if they're up for this one. And within an hour of playing Spider-Man, I was like, you know what? I should never doubt them again. I don't know why I didn't in the first place, but they nailed almost everything. There are a few things that I have a couple issues with, but I would go on record saying that I think this is the best superhero game that's ever been released. And that's saying a lot because one of my favorite games of all time is Infamous, and I would say that was one of the best superhero games. Second Son, or not Second Son, 2, I'm sorry. Not Second Son. Not Second Son.
You know, not saying not The Punisher isn't the best game ever.
There's a Punisher game?
There is a
know it's
Punisher
terrible.
game.
I didn't know there was a Punisher game.
No, shut up. It's great.
No, it's bad. Don't.
All right,
No,
I'm
the
looking this
Punisher
up.
literally has a rice cooker in his like main screen of his like house or whatever. Either that or it's like a bullet dispenser, and I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
which one it is.
Punisher for PS2.
It's bad.
There's
What's
also
that?
Beat 'em Up on Super Nintendo. That's the one you're probably talking about. That one's probably amazing.
I think like the
Oh my
only problem
gosh.
I have. Oh,
Sorry, the Google page for Punisher for PS2 has a 99% like ratio. Holy shit.
Cool.
Matt's
Okay,
the
maybe I'm
1%.
Okay, I guess
Get
I'm wrong. I apologize.
Kill him.
Dad, no.
I think like one of the main things I'm not really liking about Spider-Man is that like I don't know I don't really like the swinging music that much, and usually I'll just
Really?
put on like my Spotify or something. And like yeah, I get it. It's supposed to be like really cinematic and whatnot. I just would rather have like my Spider-Man listening to like rap or hip hop while he's swinging around and stuff.
I think that's fair, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the vibe that this Spider-Man would have ever gone for. Like this character, this Parker.
See,
he probably
that's-
would have been listening to like Mr. Blue Sky.
probably.
And the thing, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, there's one thing about Spider-Man that's been clicking with me since the moment I booted it up, and that is, no matter what, this game has felt like not only a Spider-Man game and not only an Insomniac game. It's felt like they multiplied both of those things together. Like you would have to think that normally a developer would go and they would conform themselves to that character when we're talking about the single biggest superhero of all time, bar none, the most successful. And they didn't do that. They took everything that everyone loved about Spider-Man and things that many people don't even necessarily know about the character. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, a Spider fan, if you will. But I can see the Insomniac humor there. Like there's this one thing, I'm not gonna talk spoilers, obviously, but there was this one. The collectible in this game is backpacks, and the first thing I thought when I saw that was, why does he have 55 backpacks throughout Manhattan?
Yeah.
And there's a specific collectible you get at some point where they're like, oh yeah, the grand prize for winning this science fair was a lifetime supply of backpacks, and I laughed for a good solid 30 seconds at that, because it was like, that is the most Insomniac joke in this game, and I absolutely loved it. And it's not just the humor, it's not just the presentation of it, it's, you can see actual mechanics being brought over from the Ratchet and Clanks, even the Sunset Overdrives of the world, and integrated into Spider-Man like flawlessly. And to see that from, again, my favorite developer, to see a game with two different sides of history that came together and meshed so well, I was beyond blown away by that. Again, that's not to say it doesn't have any problems, but that helped wash over any of the smaller issues I did have.
Oh yeah, 100%. Matt, you've been quiet. Scream for me.
Well,
That's not a scream.
I'm gonna get hated. I like Spider-Man. I think it's actually kind of overrated. I beat it, and I'm a little underwhelmed.
Really? Your
Yeah,
expectations
so hear
must have
me
been
out.
really high.
No, not really.
No.
I didn't know much beyond the E3 shit that they were showing.
Alright,
So, all
I'm
I
interested to
expected
hear your
was good.
point.
Okay, so the thing is, the game in the beginning throws everything it has to offer pretty much immediately, and then that's about it, which is fine. But then towards the end, that's when the game gets fucking amazing, and that's the problem. You have to play a good, I don't know, I want to say like 5 hours, 10 hours. I'm not even sure. You have to play for like halfway through the game before you actually get to anything reasonably good. And the only parts that were amazing were the big set pieces, which, I'll be blunt, there's probably only a couple handfuls of it. Like, you can count on two hands. Which is fine, I guess, but again, my issue is they're really, after the initial part, after the initial tutorial and teaching you how to fight all these different enemies, that's it. There's nothing different. They get a little tedious, in fact. Maybe that's just me.
For the most part, I see where you're coming from at points, but the way that I played it, I don't want to say the way I played it was in any way supposed to be the intentional way that you're supposed to play it, but every time I was going through the game, from the start, I liked the slow initial pace, first off. I think that really fit the comic style that the game does go for in terms of storytelling. It does fit the Spider-Man like comics. And again, I've only read parts of the original Amazing Spider-Man run, and part of Superior Spider-Man at the request of one of my friends.
That's a good one.
And I lost my train of thought there, but anyway. So the thing to me was when I was going through it, I always felt that the mechanics were actually being introduced very gradually and very intentionally, because yes, they throw a lot at you early on, and there are a couple points where they do throw some stuff at you that I wish they would have integrated more. Like the spider bot. It's funny to me that Insomniac has made another spider bot after Ratchet and Clank Going Commando 16 years ago now, or 15 years ago, and both times they're useless. Like, that made me laugh. But I think the way that it introduced all of the open world stuff, the usual open worldy elements. I'm not a fan of open world games anymore. I think Breath of the Wild especially was what killed them for me. I was already tired of them, but to see that genre flipped on its head in the way that Breath of the Wild did for me, I've only been able to play a couple open world games and not have my eyes glaze over since. And even then, they still usually do. And my eyes did glaze over for Spider-Man, but only because at the very, very end, when you get into Act 3, they throw a bunch of stuff at you in the open world all at once, and a lot of it's random, pseudo-random encounters. And so to go through, and I'm going for 100%, so to go for all of those got a little tedious by the end. I'm not going to say it didn't.
I could see that.
But I'm going for 100%. I expect it to get tedious.
God, yes. God, yes. You know what? It's a collectathon. And that's what it pretty much is gonna be like, your end game stuff, and mid and whatever.
Yeah. So
and the one thing in that regard was to go back to how I played it. When I got the backpacks, the first moment that I was like, okay, get all the backpacks, I was so interested in just swinging and exploring the world, even if I knew it was just another open world at the end of the day, just with Spider-Man in it. I collected all the backpacks, and then they said, oh, here's this new thing, and I went through the world again, and I collected all of those things. And it didn't add a lot of game time. Like, I don't think when I'm done with the campaign, I'm not done with the campaign, but I've 100%ed everything else. When I'm done, I don't think I would have crossed 35 hours. So I didn't play it I played it in an inefficient manner, but I also played it in a very explorative manner, if that makes sense. And that kind of worked, helping to flesh out how I felt about Parker growing as a superhero, even though he's been here for 8 years, obviously.
Yeah, they really drive that home.
Which I liked, because it's like the first thing that I was thinking when they announced it was, God, it's not an origin story. And I'm sure the first thing they said when developing it was, we're not making another fucking origin story.
Whether know these characters or you learn them as you go.
And they do a good job with that. I think this is probably the best Peter Parker they've ever had.
Yeah, no, I love the story. Like, honestly, story is hands down one of my favorite, like, superhero stories, I guess.
Fuck, I'm really excited now. I saw spoilers for it, and I'm kind of mad.
There are points where it gets rushed. I think the big Act 2...
I can't wait to play it. Whether I buy it or rent it or borrow it, I don't care. I can't wait to play it.
You might be able to borrow it pretty soon, because I'm almost done. I'm going to 100% it, which might take a few more hours, and then I'll just let you borrow it.
By the time, once we're done with this podcast, I'm going to go finish 100%ing it.
But my issue is that, like, I'll be honest, the gadgets and all that, they were neat, and it was semi-easy to go ahead and just, switch between them pretty quick, but they didn't feel useful. It was only until towards the end that you may need to switch out, and that was with specific enemies, and that was it. And
yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
But, no, my other concern is, like, my point of they throw everything at you is they literally go, okay, here's all the collectibles you can do. There's a couple of them that you have to talk to people to find out that they're collectibles. Specifically one, I think, the Pigeon Boy. But then, like, after that, the story goes on. The story's fine. But the missions that you do in the story, for the most part, are the same shit that you do out just exploring, which is fine, I guess, but there's a point where it kind of gets boring, just, okay, time to stealth it. Which, by the way, I feel like they could have implemented the stealth a little more.
No, that's one of my bigger complaints, too, yeah.
Yeah, like, that part was fun, and yet, just, it didn't get utilized, if at all, really. Like, the initial time it teaches you, you could just go in and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's one where stealth is absolute, and that was it.
Well, and the thing that bugged me about the stealth was for the bases, you can only do stealth for the first wave. Like, if you take everybody out in wave 1, you can't take out everybody. You can take out all but, like, 3 people. And then wave 2 starts, and then everyone knows where you are.
Yeah, but even if you stealth all of them, you can... Wave 2 already knew where you were.
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't like that.
Oh.
Because it's like, oh, I could stealth, but like the only reason I would stealth is for the challenge objectives. If they asked for me to stealth kill 5 people.
I didn't see a single one for stealth. Oh wait, no, I saw one time it asked me for stealth, and that was
in the bases. I had at least for me, I don't know if they're randomized, but for like at least 5 or 6 of the bases, I had stealth ones. It was like stealth takedown or trip mine or whatever.
The side objectives looked, or at least they came off as being random when I was watching.
They could be random for all I know, but they felt like they were. Whenever I got to one, it was like, oh, I could see why they would want me to trip mine on this one or whatever. So it was either randomized or it's out of a list that you could possibly do. So it's not like fully randomized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I guess my issue with the game is that I feel like there really should have been more variances. Like a lot of it is just okay, we're dropping you in, beat up these guys. Like even just add a couple of new different enemies that would make it unique. Like keep in mind the boss fights are amazing. But holy fuck, you fought... I'm not going to spoil much, but like... Or at all. But you have one boss fight before you basically get to the final act, and that's it. And it's like, guys, like... Just spread a couple of them.
I think the pacing is interesting. I don't see that yet as a negative, but I haven't put out my review yet. So, once I get my thoughts down on paper, my critical stance might change from my personal stance. But the way I felt about it was that the game never seemed to be intended as anything more than a light jog through this world until the end, once you get to that where shit goes down, because the entire game, the shit doesn't really get real until like 10 hours in, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think the level design does show that when you get to that certain point in. It just doesn't show it necessarily enough, but I don't know if that's a difficulty thing or not. Like, I don't know if enemy spawns are changed around if you play on the harder difficulty versus I think it's just damage modifiers, but I played on normal just for my first playthrough because I was like, I'm just going to have fun with this one. And then once they inevitably announced the super hard difficulty or New Game Plus, which they've announced both,
yep.
I'll go back probably and play harder then and see how they change everything around. But I don't know. I think to me, I wouldn't say the level design or the mechanics necessarily felt the same in the missions compared to the open world, the Ubisoft stuff. Because at least to me, my buddy said this in one of our Discord chats. He was like, I would rather go through and do fight some bad guys in an awesome linear setup rather than a randomized decent setup. Like, the world is fun, and there's a section where I went through and I happened to punch a guy into one of the bus station overhang thingies, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
where people sit for the bus stop. I happened to punch a guy into that, swing through it, and then punch him out of it and stick a bomb to him on the way out or something like that. And it was like, I didn't even know I could walk into that thing. Like, because it's just one of those things that people wouldn't normally think to go into. But the fact that I could fight in that, and that the mechanics were so consistent between the very well-designed mission levels and the very openly designed world. I think that was a testament to how good the mechanics are, that it was so one-to-one, that there wasn't anything you couldn't do in the open world.
So, hey, let's get into a sidetrack now. Did you guys see the saddest Easter egg in Spider-Man by the chance?
Yes.
I heard they patched it out now.
They did?
No, they haven't patched it out.
Heard.
They contacted the guy and they offered to patch it out.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking sad story.
Do one of you guys want to explain it, or?
I'll do it.
No, they know.
But
no, fuck them.
Some people don't. So to clarify, and like pitch in, because I've only heard a little bit from Twitter. Dude asked Insomniac to put in like a proposal message, right? And they did. And he shows it to his girlfriend, who says no, and finds out that his girlfriend was dating his brother.
So you're close. You're very close.
They broke up like a week prior.
Yeah, like I think exactly 5 days before the game came out, they broke up, and she left him for his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is so sad.
Damn.
Yeah. and it's not really too complex of a story. It's really like, dude contacts Insomnia. Insomnia's like, yeah, we'll do that. That sounds sweet. And then 5 days before the game comes out, oops. And they
Did you guys hear?
and they were
that
together for
someone
like 4
actually-
years.
Did you hear that someone actually did propose to their girlfriend, and her name happened to be the same one? So somebody rebounded it at least.
Yeah, someone rebounded it. I remember hearing about that. That was the best.
I totally made that, guys.
I did not hear about that, so that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so someone did at least take advantage of it. So
There's
there was
always balance in
someone
this universe.
No, don't do it again. Bill might glitch out.
I wish
But
that
yeah,
I wish that I didn't have to limit the size of emotes, because I should make that fucking Travis Thanos an emote.
But yeah, I think for me, like I said, Spider-Man. I keep trying whenever I try to verbalize my thoughts in any way. I've done my best not to let any sort of post-launch, the immediate hype cycle of everyone's like, oh my god, it's so friggin' good. But the thing to me is, I don't think my opinion's going to change much by this point, unless they, and I know they don't, but unless they botch the story, I think I'm at the point where I can say comfortably that to me, it was the best superhero game that I've ever played. I didn't care for the Arkham style of games, because even if the combat in Spider-Man does get bland at a certain point, or even if the gadgets don't necessarily have much guaranteed utility, the combat is so smooth. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game with a smoother combat system, with how the animations flow and everything. And especially when you do like the challenges later for the Taskmaster, when you do those, it teaches you.
Oh yeah, I heard Taskmaster was in the game. Sorry.
Yeah. So there'll be like combat challenges and other stuff which teach you like how to best swing from place to place, or how to do like precision swinging to like chase a drone, or like I said, there's combat ones where you go through and essentially you can't get hit if you want to get the gold. And so to do those, I kept going through and switching between all of my gadgets and using them on the fly, and like jumping on a guy, placing a bomb on him, kicking him into a wall where he explodes and hits 3 other people. Like, there were so many different moments where I just felt like like a badass. I almost said I feel like Spider-Man, but I'm not IGN.
You're not done.
But like, I've never played a game that felt this smooth to control. So even if I do wish that there was a higher end, like end game to the game, to the game itself, because I've done everything at this point, and even the latest game encounters outside of the story mode, they're not anything super special. I'm not going to say they are, but to have more instances where I could have that fluid combat, I wasn't about to complain.
Okay.
All right.
That's interesting that you bring up how the combat feels smooth, because maybe I've been spoiled by like, okay, totally ignoring the quality launch and messy launch overall of the game. I think that Arkham Knight nearly kind of perfected that animation flow between that style of combat, and I do think that the Spider-Man game took some notes from Arkham, and I mean that as a positive. It kind of took...
and they've said that themselves, yeah.
Oh, that even works even better.
They at one point, Insomniac was like, "Oh yeah, we want to stand right up there with Arkham and hopefully surpass it." Essentially, is what they said.
Okay.
Oh, they've surpassed it.
And so for context, I was with Matt when he picked it up, and I played a little bit of it. And the combat, it does feel like Arkham, which is good. It's great. It doesn't just look like it; it sort of feels like it. But maybe it's because I didn't quite get that tutorial and know exactly what I was doing. But the combat felt a little bit clunky. But again, like I do need to go back and play it. So my opinion, I'm not really too solidified in my opinion.
I'm curious what you'll think after you do go through the tutorial and everything, and go through that progression in the game, because I think the game does a great job of teaching you naturally all this progression. Because like I was saying, I keep kind of touching on this, but I haven't written any of this down, so I haven't really had my thoughts organized in a way. So I'm just a rambling mess right now.
That's fine.
But I think I forgot what I was gonna say again. Fuck. Uncle Ben is dead.
Do you want to? We can segue into news if you want.
You could take a selfie with Uncle Ben's fucking great.
I love that. I remember what I was gonna say. So I think the way that I happened to play it was so intuitive towards teaching me all of these different mechanics in the world building and getting me to progress naturally rather than through any sort of artificial story mode stuff. I just learned how to play the game by playing the game. But it felt like the game guided me into that. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like the game, in being as open as it was, still found a way to guide me into using its world in the best ways possible, rather than just being, hey, it's a game with an open world, go do shit. But that was my take on it, and I'm sure that take's going to be unique to my playthrough, if that makes sense.
Sorry, I don't mean to break the tone for a second. Token Geek just subscribed. Hey, Token Geek.
Hey,
You're a friend of Bolt's.
Boy. Yeah, he's a good boy.
He follows me on Twitter. I follow him. He's cool. I just don't think I've ever talked to him.
Yeah, he cool.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep talking about Spider-Man for too long. But
I mean, I'm fine with it as long as the other boys are.
I feel like I've exhausted most of what I wanted to say, or things that otherwise I'll just say like random stuff like, oh yeah, there's this thing too. But I think one thing I love, I'm gonna move over into like the visuals of the game. I'm also not afraid to say that I think this is probably a top 3 or 4 best looking game ever made to date.
The game looks absolutely fucking gorgeous.
But it's not because it is one of those best looking games ever made. It's because it tricks you into thinking it is, and I find that more impressive. Because yes, the game looks visually fantastic, but the reason why I don't know if you guys have noticed this, the reason why the world is not a persistent day-night cycle is because they wanted to specifically hand pick and choose the lighting for each part of the city, because that engine, as far as I can tell, would not be able to handle the dynamic lighting flashing onto the windows of the skyscrapers. All of those lighting, like that lighting there, is just a texture.
Yep, it's all baked in.
Which is, I love, in the usual Insomniac fashion, they found a way to trick you and make this game run on a system it should not be powerful enough to run on.
At least at the fidelity that's at.
What was that? I'm sorry, I lost it there.
At least at the fidelity that the game is at, it shouldn't be able to run like.
Yeah, like
dude, you guys have to understand. I'm playing on like the original PS4.
So am I. Yeah.
Is your PS4 screaming too?
Mine actually isn't, believe it or not.
Mine's screaming, probably because I played FF15.
Mine screams at a lot of games, but mine hasn't been screaming too loud this time. So I was impressed that it ran so cool at the same time.
And that mine will scream.
Oh, it probably will.
Oh yeah,
but
users get a pro, man. You gotta be a pro.
Yeah, man.
Like, to go through the game and to only have, there was one section where I had frame drops, and ironically, it was the E3 helicopter chase, and that was before the most recent patch, so I'm pretty sure that's been patched up. But the fact that I've only had like 2 maybe instances of frame drops, and like I said, the fact that they've tricked you into thinking the game is better looking than it is, I love stuff like that. And Insomniac's been doing it for decades. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, when you get to a certain point, there's a thing where everyone gets turned into robots. There's a certain segment of the game. I'm trying to avoid any spoilers for a 14-year-old game for whatever reason. But there's a section where every enemy in the game and a lot of your allies are turned into robots. And if you go back to old levels, you will find those enemies that are still standing there, but they're now robots. That shouldn't have been possible to do on the PS2. But Insomniac spent, I think, a good 3 weeks reburning the disc in certain ways to make sure that that would load fast enough so that it wouldn't crash the game. Just for one little thing like that. Or how in the for the online for Ratchet & Clank 3, for Up Your Arsenal, they also would actually add in little patches via the end user license agreement because you couldn't patch online games on the PS2. Like, there are so many different tricks that they've continued to use, so to see them find new ways to use that same sort of stuff to make the game look as good as it pretends to be is insane to me, and I love that.
Huh.
All right. Cool.
As someone who has never really followed Insomniac, that's actually really interesting.
All I know is Spyro, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah, well, and with Spyro, they more or less invented the idea of having actual draw distance in games. So
yeah, they did procedural loading or something like that.
Yeah, yep. But that kind of goes back to the whole smoothness thing I was saying. Is not only does the combat feel smooth to me, I mean, you can see when Spider-Man's free running or when he's flowing through, like everything feels fluid. There's one or two moments where I got stuck in the game's mechanics because Spider-Man couldn't climb a certain thing, or there was no specific jump for him to keep climbing up a wall or whatever.
Yeah, there was an issue. Sorry, real quick. Yeah, every time I try to like swing into a wall or run up the wall, for some reason he gets stuck in his like crawling animation for a while, even if I'm holding down the R2 button for like.
I had that once or
2
twice.
3 seconds.
Most of my janky issues happened to me with the regular slow crawl, so I can agree with you on that. But I didn't have more than one where it got stuck when transitioning into a wall run from a swing up a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one that I had was that I was running up a wall and just being like a dick, and essentially trying to break the game. So I don't blame the game for it. But you can't run up a billboard because there's a little ceiling there, and there's no outward jump to go and continue up.
Yeah.
But that's also where I found out that Spider-Man can't climb ladders because he's a fucking nerd. So fun fact, he can't climb ladders.
But I did have another thing. I did have one hitch in the entire game, and that was literally at the end sequence. End fight, whatever you want to call it. So, that was the only time it ever lagged. And keep in mind, I have a pro, so I don't know how you guys are going to do it.
Wait,
but
hold on. I need to bring something up real quick. Two things. 200 bits from Dan the Man, and he says, don't laugh at me, but I really liked Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Do either of you, or any of you, know what that is?
I know.
I've sold 2 copies at my GameStop, and that's it. I have 40 other copies in the back room. That's all I know.
Hey, how much are they? I'll buy one.
I don't know. I forget.
I don't know.
Like $10.
Okay, if it's $2, hit me up.
It's not $2. I can guarantee.
Hit me up
that.
when it's $2.
No.
I'll take all copies if it's $2.
Fine.
See, I've only played a bit of Spider-Man 2 when I was at like my friend or my cousin's house once, and I was just like, he was like, oh yeah, the swinging is so fun, and even back then I was like 8, and I'm playing it and I'm like, yeah, the swinging is fun, but what the fuck do you do? So apparently I predated YouTube on that by a good like 12 years.
God, I remember playing Spider-Man 2 and like I had to go like rescue people off a boat, I think, or something. I don't know if that was Spider-Man 2 or not. And like I dropped the girl in the water and I thought it was just really funny, so I went back and grabbed another one and dropped her in the water.
You're the kind of guy who drops the penguins in Mario 64.
I do the best I can.
It's okay, I did that too.
By the way, I'm so happy you can swim in this game. I remember Spider-Man 2, you just fucking died. That was it.
I feel like that's another thing, is that Insomniac took a lot of their ideas, not ideas, but a lot of like innovations out of like the same page that Sucker Punch used with Infamous, because Cole couldn't swim for a while, obviously, but then Delsin, he couldn't swim, but he could get into the water just fine and not completely die. And there's a lot of little things I've noticed that were taken seemingly from Infamous, which I liked, because when everyone, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in like 2015, when there was a Spider-Man game rumored to be in development, everyone said it was Sucker Punch. So when 2016 rolled around and everyone was like, oh yeah, Spider-Man showing, this is definitely going to be Sucker Punch, and then you see Insomniac's logo, like, that was weird. And now I know for a fact after this they're going to be known as the Spider-Man guys, because I'm sure this is going to be their best-selling game ever made, to date, at least. But to go back and imagine seeing Sucker Punch go into random, gritty-looking ass third-person combat game, and like a linear-ish combat game at that, and then you see Insomniac, the linear game guys, go and make an open world game. It's been a weird couple of years as a Sony fan.
It's been a minute. All right. Well, I want to kind of segue into like news.
Yeah.
Something you want to talk about?
I mean, I got a couple things. I'm gonna start off with I'm gonna start off with Project Judge, since Bolt brought it up. But yeah, Project Judge is like the new Yakuza game that's gonna be coming out, along with the MMO of Yakuza that's coming out. Don't ask me about the MMO. I don't know much about it, other than it's an MMO. That's pretty much all I have going off of it. But this new game looks pretty alright. It looks like it's gonna take a lot of the Shenmue storytelling, and we're gonna go back with like a younger like main character who's got like detective tech and whatnot. It's like LA Noirish from what I'm seeing from the trailer. In fact, I'll post it in general.
I know Bolt loves LA Noir.
Where like you're like investigating these like shady dealings going on, and you're like looking at you're like pretty much collecting evidence for like trials and whatnot. At least from what I'm seeing.
The way that I described it based on what I've seen, and I haven't actually watched the trailer, mind you, but I've been calling it Yakuza plus LA Noire plus Ace Attorney.
Plus Tony Hawk Pro Skater, because your character literally just has a skateboard.
Oh god.
As a tool for like combos.
Okay, that's okay. I thought you pushed it for a second. You brought it back.
From some other gameplay, because fun fact, the demo for it is out right now in Japan. They're going back to like Zero's turf, where like you can now just pick up stuff and have a bunch of like different sort of special killing moves. Like back in Zero, you used to be able to throw a trash can up in the air, distract your enemy, and then uppercut them into the trash can. You can't do that in Kiwami or 6.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they seem to be using the old engine, considering this game is coming out in like December.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird thing, is they announced this and they're like, hey, so we know that Kiwami 2 just came out, and we know that we're porting 3, 4, and 5 to PS4 in Japan like now, and we know that there's going to be the Fist of the North Star game, but also this comes out in December 2, buy it. Like,
also Shenmue 3.
Also Shenmue, please buy all of these games.
For the love of God, buy Shenmue. But yeah, there's not a lot I can really talk about it. Just it looks interesting. I'm gonna wait for the demo to come out. But currently I have to go and download the Fist of the North Star demo because I keep forgetting about that goddamn demo because it looks fun.
I thought about giving that a shot, but I don't know shit about Fist of the North Star.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
It's a Yakuza game, so it doesn't matter. You're gonna play it anyway.
Yeah. Another news. Any of you guys Lethal League fans by chance?
What the fuck is Lethal League?
It is the best fighting game. It is Dodgeball.
Ooh.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
So we are finally getting a sequel to Lethal League. It's been a minute. I don't even know how long it's been since the first Lethal League came out, but I'm just doing a quick little check on that. 2014, baby. Ooh.
Oh, these are 24 years.
24, yeah, it's been 24 years. It was on the Dreamcast. One of the biggest surprises is that we're getting the dude who made the Jet Set Radio music as our main composer for this game, which is pretty alright. Looks like people have like tighter controls overall, and we're getting like finisher moves.
Huh.
I'm just hoping for like more ways to like do more mind games. At least from seeing from the trailer, we're getting more characters. Like there's literally just a stereo box with fists and legs. Which, hey, rad.
Alright.
But what I'm hoping for is that like this gets a lot more traction and I get to see this at EVO. Because I really think after the first Lethal League, I was like, man, this should go to EVO. And there's nothing. Nothing. I was really kind of disappointed by that. Because it was so much fun. That I like, at least from like a crowd standpoint, there would be so much hype for this. That's really all I can hope for right now for it. You know?
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'll have to look more into that, but I'm interested from how you described it.
But yeah, Lethal League is coming for pretty much everything. PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Hopefully, spring of this year. Spring of this year.
Ooh,
you know what?
It's coming out
already
6
out.
months ago.
You gotta go back in time for it.
Finally.
It's coming out spring 2019.
What you mean you don't got a time machine?
Just buy it at GameStop. It's pre-owned for $34.99.
Got him.
Are you a pro member?
No.
That actually, this isn't really news, but there's something that I've been noticing that I don't know if you guys want to talk about, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. It's a very sensitive subject. Why are Sony games staying expensive now?
What you
Yeah,
mean?
What you
see?
mean?
Think about it.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, why are
What?
Sony games like
I'm
staying
leaving
expensive, like after launch?
No, jokes aside, I've noticed that Sony has been doing a thing where they've been sort of pulling the Nintendo Vault sort of style with their games. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but God of War and Detroit are both still $60.
Yep.
Whereas most games that come out in the same year from Sony on the PS4 end up being 30 by the end of the year. So it's been really interesting seeing, especially with Horizon being literally $20 for the Game of the Year edition now.
Yeah. Which, damn.
I heard good
Which
things.
that's
about
a
the game,
very
too.
it's
pretty fun.
The way I described it, to sidetrack even more from our sidetrack here, is that Horizon Zero Dawn is the pinnacle of the current open world genre.
Really?
Which that's then followed up by my thought that Breath of the Wild killed that genre, but Horizon's about as good as you can get within that genre to me.
Huh. That's high
and that's
praise.
saying a lot considering that's the Killzone guys. Like, that's a weird metamorphosis. But yeah, so Horizon, like I said, is like that's $20. Both of the Uncharted PS4 games are less than $20 nowadays. Bloodborne's $20.
Really?
I know Bloodborne's like 2015, I know, but like all these games have gotten really, really cheap, and then I see God of War still at 60 and Detroit still at 60, and it's really weird. Because I was talking to my girlfriend's dad about this, because he was saying like, oh, he wants to pick Spider-Man up, but he was like, yeah, but I'll probably wait till it's 30, and I was like, well, be prepared to wait until like mid 2019 then, because this game doesn't seem like it's going to drop if trends are anything to go by. So it's just been interesting seeing that the PS4 lineup has somehow gotten more valuable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining by all means. I mean, the games just like if these games deserve that kind of money and the people are willing to buy it for that kind of money, then by all means keep them at that price. It's just odd.
It's weird how you mention that because I follow this one person on Twitter called Cheap Ass Gamer, which hey,
Yeah.
by the way, go follow that dude. He works hard on that shit.
Yeah, he does a lot of good work.
He was just showing off that GameStop accidentally revealed their sales or like their whatever it is, their sale or whatever for National Gaming Day, and like literally on the front cover it's like Persona 5 $30, you know. And like if I'm guaranteeing anything, God of War is probably going to be on sale too, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember Christmas it was 45.
God of War?
Yeah, it was like 50 or 45.
Didn't God of War just come out in April?
Oops, wrong game.
Sorry.
Get
Dude.
fucked, nerd.
Oops.
Fucking
I remember at some point there was a sale for it then.
no,
During,
it
maybe summer
definitely
or
did
what?
drop on sale to $45, but I'm surprised that the MSRP hasn't dropped to like $40.
That's true.
That's where I'm like questioning it almost, because I haven't bought Dad of Boy or Detroit yet, because I have a lot of issues with Sony Santa Monica, and I try to separate the art from the artist as much as I can, but I'm willing to give this one a pass. I just don't want to pay $60 for it. If
That's
that makes
true.
sense. And same with Detroit. Like I could get into the Santa Monica issues, but a lot of them aren't necessarily super founded, and it's not worth getting into.
As a David Cage researcher,
Oh
I
boy.
can say that this is probably one of his best works.
Oh no, it seems like it. There's nothing wrong with Detroit. Like that one's just more like, I don't.
Trust me. When I say best, I mean at least the bottom of the barrel good. You know, like
Yeah,
I don't think you shouldn't pick it up for 60.
I don't
know.
play the David. I've played 2 of them on PS Plus now. For Plus One, a series where each month I look at the free games on PlayStation Plus and tell you if they're worth the download. After all,
God damn it.
your time is valuable. That's my thing.
I was waiting for that meme.
I've done that meme drunk now. Fun fact. Like someone said to me, it was like, "Oh, you should do Plus One," and I immediately, even though I was drunk, slurring, was able to do it perfectly.
Wow.
So that's ingrained into my mind now, and I have to die.
Well, how many
But,
times have you fucking recited that? I'm sorry, I hate to
nearing
go off
on-
on a side tangent, but I gotta
Nearing
ask.
on 100.
God damn it.
But we can cover that later if we want to. But yeah, so I've covered the 2 most recent David Cage games on PS Plus
I'm
in the past
sorry.
year or so, and I haven't played Fahrenheit yet, but
Don't.
I'm not planning on it. I want to play it
God.
just because I know how bad it is.
To
But
be
like
fair,
Detroit,
it's pretty funny.
yeah, and they're all funny. That's the thing. They're all absolute train wrecks, and
Aw.
that's why you play them. You play them because you're watching Tommy Wiseau direct a game.
I liked Beyond Two Souls.
Shut up, Matt.
No,
Did
I
you
did.
play it? Did you play it the original way or the correct?
Uh-oh.
What?
I banned him. I guess I DDoSed him.
No,
no,
he's back. There you are.
cut out
What'd
for
you
a
say?
second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you play it the original way or the correct way?
What?
Did you play it? Did you ask it to do chronological or the way it was meant to be played?
I did the way it's meant to be played, where
Oh.
the random jumps in time.
Oh.
I didn't think I had a choice.
Oh, you don't on PS3. On PS4 you do.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
really?
the PS3 version.
Okay. You're wrong.
What's wrong?
I mean,
I'm
to be
kidding.
fair, Matt didn't have a choice.
No, yeah, it's just the way I played it was I could not. I did play it. I played it in the original order, for the sake of giving it the most accurate review that I could for that video, and it just is not good.
Yeah,
Like-
okay, fair enough.
It's fun. It's not good. There's a key difference there. Like I can enjoy a bad game, and that's a bad game.
Wait, I
I-
lost.
I rem-
all I remember is that we're talking about David Cage. We're talking about Heavy Rain.
Doesn't
Uh,
matter. I could,
doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter what game we're talking about.
no matter which game we're talking about, my opinion stays the same, and that's not a good game, but it's a fun
Omicron.
game. God. Nam and Jaden.
God, fucking, I'm still profounded that like in honor of David Bowie, they released that game for free for like a solid week when it was like when he passed away.
Huh.
And
game?
That's awesome.
Omicron, which was
Omicron?
like was one of David Cage's like first games.
I think it was his first game,
Oh.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought
something like
Fahrenheit
that.
was. Huh.
No.
Shows you what
Uh,
I know.
He made this really weird, not Shenmue, but Shenmue game for like the Dreamcast called Omicron.
The
If you
point
wanna
is we
even-
shouldn't ask for Shenmue 3. We should ask for Omicron 2.
Yeah, where's Omicron 2? Please. Please, Cage. But
If you're
like back on
listening out
with
there.
Detroit, I will say this. The Connor storyline is my favorite. I love Connor. Like
I heard
Connor
that a couple
kept me
times.
going.
Yeah.
Connor is literally like the best like character trait out of the main protagonists, I guess.
I thought his story was pretty interesting. Well, what I've
Now
seen.
I
of it.
forget. Did they allow you to play each of them individually, or do they have to?
You have to play it all in one go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was a choice where you could play 1, 2, 3, or
I
That-
really think there's. Okay, I
Here's
told this
1.1, then 2.1.
really quick.
Okay,
I actually
okay.
explained this to Travis. In my opinion, for Detroit, they really should have done each story like individuals. So start with Kara, then you move on to Connor, and then you move on to what's his face, last guy. Fuck.
Jesus, right?
Michael.
Yeah, Robo Jesus. Gandhi.
I feel like only Heavy Rain out of all of his games makes sense to be done in like multiple characters interweaving rather
Yeah, because
than
it's
just
the
having
third.
three
Well, because
separate
that's
acts.
that's an actual like detective story. And
Yeah,
so
like that
it
one
makes
makes
sense.
he did it. He
But-
did all the wrong things, and they came together the right way.
Because the thing is, I feel like with Detroit, if you split it up, so Kara does her thing, you're seeing the world change and all this shit happening. Okay, cool. You play as Connor, you don't know what's going on with Marcus at all. So as going through Connor, you're actually investigating, the things that are going on, and it actually makes it, I don't know, an investigation game like it was advertised kind of with the demo. And then after all that, then you play as Marcus, and then you kind of, write the rest of the story and see what the fuck was going on. I
Yeah.
think that would have been a better idea, but that's just me.
No, it probably would have. That's the thing is if you're critiquing a game made by, probably correct.
Yeah, honestly.
And I don't mean to like just continually dick on the guy, but I'm serious. Like,
No, you're
I
fine.
promise.
You're fine. I played through Omicron. You're fine. Trust me.
Oh. I don't know
I just
what that is.
I
but it
don't
sounds
want to come
painful.
off as that guy because I'm not normally one to dick on games randomly like this, but that's the one guy that deserves it.
Got him.
Besides Activision Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, yes, that game is still like $60. Fun fact.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think no one bought it,
It's
and that's
terrible.
why.
Pretty much.
I
Wait,
played
what are you
that
talking
game. I played that game on my phone. Fun fact, because they released it on phones, and I got it for free because I have a Sony phone.
What
It
are you guys
crashed.
talking about?
Amazing Spider-Man
ama-
2, the game.
Oh,
where
okay.
Carnage is the final
Yeah.
boss for some reason.
What?
Don't worry about it. Spoilers.
Spoilers for a
Spoilers
decade.
for
the
spoilers
for
for
two
a,
Spider-Mans
uh,
ago.
a
Hey,
game tie-in for
spoilers
a
for
movie
Bad
that was probably
Spider-Man.
not that good.
I think Amazing 2 was. I haven't watched it. I liked Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing
but-
Spider-Man 2, like, okay, so I loved it when it first came out in theaters. I'll try to keep this quick. I loved it when it came out in theaters, and I remember even turning to Matt and saying, "That's how you make a Spider-Man movie." I was so lost in the hype. And then I went back and I rewatched it about a year ago, and I'm like, "Oh, this isn't as good as I remember. Why is Spider-Man being such a cunt and letting everyone?" Oh, I probably shouldn't say cunt on stream. Oh well.
No.
Like, why is Spider-Man letting so many people die for no fucking reason? Why is Peter being such a dick to everyone?
Spider-Man 3 again.
Why does Peter go out of his way to not help his best friend when his best friend asks for Spider-Man to help him because he knows Spider-Man, or Peter knows Spider-Man, and then he goes out of his way to dress up as Spider-Man to tell him to fuck off? It's like there's so much wrong with this movie, and I don't remember why I liked it. It was just because the action scenes were good, and they still are. Like, the choreography is pretty good, but I was just so
And there's
blinded
nothing-
by the spectacle.
There's nothing wrong with liking a movie for its action sequences, but I think the thing, to me, we probably shouldn't talk about the Spider-Man movies. We already talked a lot of Spider-Man.
I don't care. The title of the stream is Spider-Man. Oh wait, no, that's the announcement.
God, get
I thought it was
fucked.
Metroid.
Well, to me, so I didn't watch Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I did watch Amazing Spider-Man 1 because my buddy was very into it. My buddy is a big Spider-Man fan. And he's the one that got me to read the Amazing Spider-Man comics. He lent me his Marvel account or whatever. And I went in and read some, and then I read Superior because he loved Superior.
Superior's really
And everyone hated it at the time. So
Yeah, I
when
remember.
he was like, he was like, everyone hates this, but I love it, and here's why. I was like, you know what? I trust you. And so we went through and I read it, and then I watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 because, again, it was free because I have a Sony phone. And I really enjoyed it. I like it more than regular Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
it's
Amazing
really
Spider-Man
weird,
1
though.
is a genuinely decent film. There's a lot wrong with it, in my opinion, but
Well, like, I feel like everybody
I still
got-
enjoy it.
I feel like everybody got too upset that Andrew Garfield has a punchable face.
Yeah.
And didn't look into the fact that he himself, as Peter Parker, at least from my memory, I could be totally wrong now, keep in mind, but at the time, it felt like he was the most accurate Peter Parker that I had seen, especially having just read the comics. Like,
Coming
when
out
you
of
go in-
Superior, I could see why you would think that.
well, not just Superior, because I mean, yes, he's a little cocky in Superior because he's Doc Ock, but
Yeah, he's not Peter.
But I'm talking about like the later parts. I read up until Amazing 700, previous 20 or 30
okay.
before that. So I read like a good chunk of Amazing, and it felt like a one-to-one translation of. I think I read also the first arc of Amazing Spider-Man as well, because I think he had the first arc and then he skipped like 700 and went to the last arc. And so I read through the first arc, and it felt almost one-to-one to what I remember the comics having been. And again, I could be wrong in that now, but at the time I was like, wow, this is a really accurate Spider-Man. I like this Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's about how I felt.
I actually prefer that telling to Holland's Spider-Man. Holland's not bad, but I said to a friend earlier today, he feels like Michael Cera. And that works for this. It works for this Spider-Man character and for this Peter Parker, but I wasn't in love with it
Yeah, that's fair.
because it was so thrown in at the last minute.
Yeah, so, while I would tell people that this take on Peter isn't the best, and I still stand by that. I think that Andrew Garfield is my least favorite on-screen Peter. I think that he was, other than Tom Holland, who is my personal favorite, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was really good. However, his Peter Parker
That makes
lacked.
sense. That's fair.
And that kind of goes into sort of the debate with comic book films. There's so many different adaptations of characters. So,
Yeah.
like, the one you read is very similar to what they used in the Amazing Spider-Man films. Whereas, like, the Ultimates, which is what I grew up with, is very different. He's a lot more similar to, like, the original trilogy, like the Raimi trilogy.
And I was even going to say that back in the day, I felt that so many people hated on Amazing Spider-Man just because they thought that he wasn't accurate to what Spider-Man was.
Yeah.
And you're right, there are so many different ones, but the thing is, so many of these people, nobody read comics back then. So the people that were complaining were watching the Tobey Maguire movies and saying, "Oh,
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that Spider-Man."
That's like, fuck. There was a kid. Okay, I do remember his name, but I don't want to throw him under the bus. Guy I sat next to. Okay, fuck it. His name is Ian. Fuck you, Ian. He was this kid I sat next to in
Take
my.
that, brutal moose.
Dogs.
Holy
in my,
shit! You went to high school with Brutal Moose? Man, I'm sorry.
I like Brutal Moose. But this guy I sat next to in advanced algebra in high school, he was like, "Man, I really hate the new Amazing Spider-Man film. It's not comic accurate at all. Like, he built his web shooters. That's not how it is." And I'm like, "Did you fucking read like
Did you read any comics
did you
ever?
read fucking there's only one version of Spider-Man that actually has like the bionic the biological web shooters where they're in his wrist like the original trilogy, and that was like a what if Spider-Man in the future, like 3 centuries from now. It's like this other dude gets Spider-Man's powers and also like web shooters in his wrist."
And I've been there, to be fair, at the same time. Like, I've been in that point where I was like, man, why does he have web shooters now? 'Cause I didn't follow.
Yeah.
I never cared for most superheroes. So it took me a while to adapt to it, but then once I gave it a shot, I was like, I like this better. This is
I'll
a
be
better
honest.
Spider-Man.
I'll be honest, when I was like, what, 5, 6 when Spider-Man came out, the movie? I'll be honest, I didn't understand why he had to make the devil horns, but now that I knew that he had web shooters originally, it makes a little more sense.
Yeah, like in the original movie, it makes no fucking sense. It's like, all right, is this like the key to like?
And I don't quite remember, but like,
It's
even
the key
Tobey
to-
Maguire's character was confused because he's just
Yeah.
like, he like trying to figure out how to shoot his web, and then he just fucking does devil horns and
When-
like, oh,
When he
that fucking
does this
works.
motion with his hands, the portal in his wrist opens to the web dimension.
No, it's not. It's not a portal. It's a sphincter.
And then I remember I was playing the PS1 version of Spider-Man. I'm like, why is he run out of web? I don't get it.
He
That's what he
starts
does.
shooting
Wow.
blanks.
web.
It's not actually web, it's just yarn.
Oh god, he's Yoshi. Spider-Man the whole time.
Hey, speaking of Yoshi,
Oh god
Oh,
damn
no.
it!
how about that Yoshi Crafted World, everybody?
I like the title.
I think the title works. I still wish it was Yoshi's Flippin' Island.
Oh,
The fake title. I love that title so much.
I really wish the leak was true about Kirby Warriors being real, but we all can't have our dreams, I guess.
Like 2 characters.
No,
10
we have DDD and he's big.
We got DDD, we got Dark DDD, we got Meta Knight, we got Buff Meta Knight, we got Kirby, we got Red
We got the
Kirby.
painter, we got that
Hold
other
on, we
dude
got
from
a-
64.
We got 10 bits from Shadow Moip. Oh, hey, I think I recognize you from Elliot's stream, Elliot and Sabrina. Amazing Spider-Man fans say I hate Tom Holland Spider-Man. Me, dude, Spider-Man at Hollywood professionally made suit and high-tech web shooters. Amazing Spider-Man fan, it's comic accurate, let's be real. Spider-Man is a poor teenager who shouldn't have access to high-tech gadgets so soon. Yeah, that's sort of
Yeah.
one problem I had with the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's why he's having a pizza.
To
Yeah.
be fair, he's supposed to be a genius, so it kind of almost
I mean,
works.
it works. Like, but the movie didn't do, in my opinion, the movie didn't do a good job at making it like, all right, this guy has the ability to
Yeah.
make a really nice suit and high tech web shooters. Because that's that montage when he's making it just kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes down to it's just tough to make movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Because,
But that's one thing
because
that
of
I
how-
love. I'll let you finish your thought. Fuck you.
No, I no, you're good.
But that's one thing that I really like about the new like Tom Holland Spider-Man is like they slowly introduce him and sort of like vaguely establish his abilities, and then we already have a super genius in this universe. We have fucking Iron Man who provides him with all of his gadgets, and it's like, all right, we don't have to worry about that.
Hey.
I didn't necessarily love that. I was actually again talking with my buddies about this because everyone's talking about Spider-Man now.
All right, you and I are gonna have a long talk after this podcast.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't remember how it was exactly worded, but I don't necessarily love the idea that, yes, Iron Man is there to provide everything, and I like the way that this Spider-Man fits into the world where he wants to be Iron Man. But it didn't feel super earned until Act 3 in that movie, when he doesn't have all of the suits and he has to do it all himself. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, this is Spider-Man.
I actually do agree with you there.
And that's just more of a critique of the fact that because they didn't have Spider-Man to start with, they had to pick somebody else that could be their top hero, and they chose Iron Man because it just worked out. Yeah. But it was weird to me, knowing a little bit about comics now and still not being a huge fan, but knowing it's like, hey, so Spider-Man's your top guy like ever in the history of all comics ever. Why is he playing little bitch boy?
Yeah, and I see
and it makes sense. It makes sense in the storyline they told, but it felt weird to have him have nothing for himself.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. Like, I did kind of have that feeling the first time I went and saw Civil War. It's like, it was a little bit jarring, almost, seeing such an inexperienced Peter.
Yeah. And it works out fine, and I'm sure it's going to work better knowing what would happen in Infinity War and seeing how he kind of evolved as a character.
Yeah.
You know,
because what I think that they're going to do is, after Avengers 4, like, they're going to have like a reboot of the MCU. Like, a lot of the big actors are going to be leaving, but they want to keep these characters. Like, Spider-Man's getting a sequel after Infinity War 2, which is most likely going to be the end of the current universe. So some of the people are going to stick around, and I'm guessing that Iron Man is going to be replaced by Spider-Man as the face of the Marvel Universe.
And that's perfect, because that's how it probably should be.
Yeah,
like, even in the games,
and by the time they get that, they'll have an experienced Peter that everyone else wants.
He'll have grown up, which is what I thought they were going to do in Infinity War. So they kind of flipped the script on me, even though I saw the memes and everything. But that was one thing that kind of, I don't want to say bugged me, but I wasn't a huge fan of, is that Spider-Man in the PS4 game, like, he's established as the New York superhero, but then there's also an Avengers Tower, and there's a line where he's like, he's
they're
not
off on the West Coast.
Yeah, they're off on the West Coast doing whatever they're gonna do in the what's their name company, the Deus Ex guys, and Crystal Dynamics and whoever they are, the other company. They're working on that Avengers game for. So that probably takes place on the West Coast, if I'm guessing. And I'm sure that there's like a media...
Okay, I hate to burst your bubble, but I actually think that it was a reference to a comic line which was called the West Coast Avengers.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'm cool if it's that too. But also, if I had to guess, knowing how the movies interact with one another and knowing Marvel and Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a game universe coming.
Maybe.
And if so, Spider-Man's the start with the Avengers game.
I hope it doesn't fucking derail.
I feel like Marvel would just say, hey, like the way I've theorized it is Marvel will say, hey, hit these beats so that we can tease the next game, but otherwise you're your own independent adventure.
Also,
hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
10 more bits. How do you guys feel about the Venom film coming out soon?
I'm actually very excited for it.
I'm very, very excited.
Well, the thing to me that is that now it supposedly ties into the MCU.
Okay, I do have some problems with it.
Which, that's interesting, because I thought this was supposed to be the Amazing Spider-Man universe still.
So, it's very complicated. Okay, so initially, like, from the trailers alone, just the trailers, I'm very excited. However, Sony starts opening their mouths and talking, and I start to hate it. Yeah. Okay, so first big announcement about the Venom movie. It is going to be part of a trilogy.
Okay, that I thought I knew. Yeah.
A trilogy for Venom?
Yes, exclusively Venom.
Remember when there was the Aunt May movie they were working?
Yeah, they were fucking working on an Aunt May movie about her being a spy before Peter was born.
That would have been something somehow worse than Solo.
This just went from Thanksgiving dinner to a microwavable dinner.
Yeah. So that was the first big red flag for Venom, is like, okay, they're doing a trilogy. Okay, so I'm not so thrilled about going in and having just a good isolated time. And then they come out, and okay, so for context, back before Amazing Spider-Man 2 flopped miserably because they were expecting that movie to pass like the billion mark, Sony said that they want to start their own universe to combat Marvel's with exclusively Spider-Man characters, and Venom was going to be their first one of that. So Venom was going to be in the same universe as Amazing Spider-Man. And then they were going to do movies for characters that I'm sure everyone knows about, like Morbius, Black Cat, Craven. You know, a bunch of characters that kids really love, you know?
Mac?
Yeah.
Mac 2?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for Mac 3. Fuck off.
Yeah, so they do this, and then they fire Andrew Garfield, and then cancel Amazing Spider-Man 3 because of it. And so, which is, have you guys, by any chance, seen the interviews with the actors talking about Amazing Spider-Man 3? They were talking about giving Spider-Man, like, godlike powers so that she could resurrect, or he could resurrect Gwen Stacy. I'll find the I'll find the fucking interview. It's really fucking weird.
Why would you kill her off?
I don't know if it was like a troll from one of the actors, and if it was a great troll. But he's just like, oh yeah, in the third movie, we were planning on having Stacy's, Gwen's dad come back because Spider-Man gets this new power that lets him come back bigger and better than ever.
I'm like reading off like Spider-Man villains, and I find Morbius the living vampire.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm thinking like, oh man, Amazing Spider-Man 3 is just a Castlevania crossover.
I wish. So they have that whole thing, and then, you know, Amazing Spider-Man as a franchise dies. Sony gives the right to Spider-Man the character back to Marvel, but not the rest of their
lens.
Yeah, sort of. It's a really weird deal. But Sony still has access to all of these other Spider-Man characters, like Venom, which is how they're making the movie. But for some reason, with the deal that they have, they can use the Spider-Man property, but not the character. So this Venom is not going to be involved with Spider-Man. And then they come out and they say like a week ago that they're revitalizing the plans for a Spider-Man cinematic universe, but without Spider-Man. So these movies, like Morbius, Craven, Black Cat, all these characters that, let's be real, most like casual kid Spider-Man fans won't know. They're really lucky with Venom because Venom's really popular. So I'm sure that a lot of kids and casual Spider-Man fans are going to be like, oh, Venom, I know that Spider-Man villain, and go see that movie. But then we get to Craven. Okay, why would give me a reason why some casual fan would go see a movie about this animal poacher that thinks that Spider-Man is a spider monster and wants to kill him.
Without showing Spider-Man.
Honest to God, they might as well go with the Godzilla route, where it's just Spider-Man versus Enter villain.
Yeah, except they can't use Spider-Man, so, like, okay, they're gonna I remember Matt made a joke that I'd actually be okay with.
It's like, you can't do fucking Venom versus Stegron.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting to me is if you think about all of that and when all this time down, this probably all directly led to the Spider-Man game we're talking about most of today.
Possibly.
Probably.
Like, thinking about, because the fact that the reason that it's PS4 exclusive is, I believe, because Sony doesn't actually own the rights to the PS4 game. They just they don't own the Spider-Man's game rights as far as Marvel got those back. I believe this would have had to have been part of
Marvel.
This would have been like the... Go ahead.
Marvel bought out, Disney bought out Marvel, and Marvel still retains. Okay, so the only thing that they gave to Sony was the movie rights, the rights to use them in a cartoon, video games, etc. That still belonged to Marvel. It was just the movie rights that they gave to Sony. Sorry, I totally interrupted your thought.
No, well, the thing to me was, you're right. They only own the film rights. So to trade
I'm gonna be super honest. Wait, am I dead?
You're good. You're good.
Oh, I'm dead.
Hello?
I think he might...
Did the hurricane come?
Oh God! Help!
All right, so I will continue. To me, my theory is that looking at what happened, because don't forget Sony has their own Spider-Man movie that is coming, co-licensed by Marvel, that animated one.
Yeah. Oh, that looks great.
Which looks great, and I'm hoping it's going to be good, but it probably won't be. But the thing is, if you look at the timeline of all of that, it almost seems like Sony traded / is sharing the rights now exclusively with Marvel, so that they can't make their own Spider-Man movie, except for the one they were already making, which was part of the deal. But that part of the trade-off is that they would have exclusive rights to the Spider-Man game, which is probably how Insomniac involved in the first place.
Possibly.
Because Insomniac knows the PS4 hardware already, and from what we understand, Marvel came to Sony, Disney came, and Insomniac, and said, "Hey, Insomniac, we want you to make a Marvel game. You will be making the first Marvel game in our Marvel revamped game series.
That
That's not
would
going
be
to be
really
series."
cool if they make a gaming Marvel first. I can see a lot of people getting mad about it, because I know a lot of people are already mad that Marvel basically dominates the movie box office.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't hate it personally. I probably wouldn't play most of them. But to me, like, the fact that they came to Insomniac first and said, "You're going to be making the first game that we are publishing as Disney or whatever," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want you to pick whichever character you want and go with that one. And the first one they said, I mean, obviously it makes sense because Spider-Man is the biggest superhero in history.
At this point,
but that they said Spider-Man, not only because of that, but also because they said that they themselves have always felt like they were the Spider-Man of game developers. Where they kind of lately flew under the radar, but they always put out so much hard work. They have an average of 1.4 games per year.
Wow.
For the past 20 years.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
That
now, given that counts like 4 mobile games that came out in 2015.
Oh, okay.
So, now, but that said, 1.25 if you don't count those per year. Because don't forget that in the same years they developed 3 Spyros year after year after year. They developed a Ratchet & Clank every year except for like 2 specific years. And half of the time they were developing Ratchet & Clank games, they were also developing Resistance or Sunset Overdrive. Or Fuse.
I forgot how big
Spider-Man.
Insomniac was.
Yeah, out of all of the big PS2 era developers, they're the ones that didn't go through any drastic changes. That was another thing that I kind of mentioned a little bit when talking to my buddies, was they were saying, "Oh man, it's insane thinking about how Naughty Dog revamped themselves last gen, and how Sucker Punch is doing it now, and how Guerrilla did it, and how Santa Monica did it, and how all of these Sony studios have completely changed in the past couple years." Right. And then he was like, "Even Insomniac now," and I was like, "Hold on, think about this. Insomniac didn't seem to actually change. They just incorporated Spider-Man into what they've already been doing. They're still the same studio, just with a new Spider-Man."
Right.
Which is interesting when you think about it that way.
Huh.
Yeah.
I should really get into Insomniac. Oh, Bill has left the building.
Bill's dead.
And now's a good time for me to mention, once again, Coke Zero.
Brought to you by our sponsors. Conk.
But
Okay.
Yeah,
he said he's going to be...
No, you should
He says
definitely
he's resetting.
You should definitely get into Insomniac.
Yeah, so I'll be totally honest. I did not grow up with a lot of PlayStation. And I actually never really have. It's not like something that came into my life later. Like, I've never been a big PlayStation guy. And not because I didn't like it. It's because... well, mostly money, I'll be honest. But... like, I respect a lot of stuff that, originally started as, like, Sony PlayStation exclusive sort of stuff. Like, I did have Spyro and Crash before I sold my PlayStation. So I'm not really that familiar with a lot of series that got their start on PlayStation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to get into it because I've been meeting a lot of people, you included, who love all these companies that delivered games that I never even played, like Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, which growing up, off and on, I often mistook for each other. Hey, Bill.
It's T. Hanos that's getting to me, man. I'm sorry.
T.
What are we talking about? We talk about
T. Hanos.
Spider-Man villains? You talking about Spider-Man villains?
I'm talking about how I don't know shit about PlayStation games.
Oh. You
That's
should
really
really
it.
play Resident Evil Code Veronica then.
Yes. I still
God
need
damn
to
it.
beat that actually.
I love Code Veronica.
I love.
But
3.
yeah, no, I think now would be a good time if you do. Do you have a PS2 yet?
I do have a PS2. I recently got one.
Okay.
Travis.
What?
Oh.
That was all.
Well, you go. Oh,
You
that
just
was
wanna say
it.
your name.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Travis, I will
Dad.
send you my copy of Silent Hill 2 if I have to, for God's sake.
Okay,
We'll
wait.
see.
Send it to me first because I really would have played.
No!
Not allowed.
You can play it next. I'll give you my demo of Devil May Cry.
But I need a
Just the
controller.
demo?
I need
Yeah.
a controller and I need a memory card for it first.
See, Bill, I have a controller and memory card. Give it to me.
Why don't you
first.
give it to Travis?
Oh,
Ho.
fuck him. I want to play Silent Hills 2.
Lost my train of thought. But yeah, oh right,
Sorry.
I do have a PS2. Why do you ask, Bill?
Well,
Fuck.
I was gonna say that I think now would be a good time for you to get into a bunch of those franchises because I can personally vouch every day of the year for like the Ratchet and Clanks and the Sly Coopers of the world. But there's still games that I haven't even played on the PS2, like a lot of them, like major series. Like I didn't play Jack and Daxter until 2012.
Right.
Ooh.
And
Just
I like
Crash
Jack 1.
Insanity. You're all good then.
God. But yeah, I think now would be a good time because there's a bit of a PS2 renaissance starting to happen now, I've noticed. So, yeah,
What you mean?
think about it.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Just why do you think that? Think about it. I'm asking you because I can't think about it.
I think it's just to me it's been interesting seeing how so many people have gotten back into so many of these PS2 classics. Like I'm speaking from a bit of a biased light right now because I just not in the past couple months, but I went through the entire Sly Cooper series again. Finally reviewed the whole series in a marathon. And seeing how many people were really, really hoping for a Jack game continually until the end of time, even though we need another game. And there's always a lot of controversy going on with Ratchet and Clank. With people who are like, oh, I want the old PS2 games. I don't like the PS4 game because they changed one thing because some guy on YouTube said so. And so people are getting back into the PS2 games and all that. So, that, and I've just seen a lot of like the prices have started to go up and start fluctuating more for PS2 games, and it's been interesting.
Okay.
Travis will never forget that I spent $60 on Silent Hill 3. Or was it 2? No, it was 2.
That's okay. I spent $40 on Resident Evil 1, but it was the original box.
I think it was the first day
Oh.
of too many games. Like
Yeah, first
I'm
day
like
of too many
I'm like,
games,
hey
I spent,
Bill, what did
$100.
what did you get? Like I spent like $300 on this, and it's like a PS2 with like 3 games, and I'm like, that's worth it actually.
Yeah. Hey man, it was a copy of Nightmare Creatures.
Oh,
I don't know what
Moriarty,
that
thanks
is.
for the follow. And the bits.
It's a good game, that's what it is.
Did I pronounce that right? Moriarty, yeah.
Mario Odyssey?
He's another
Hey,
buddy of mine.
Trav,
What?
do you remember that one game? I remember going to your house a long time ago when I
Is
was
that a
just a wee
threat?
lad. Yeah. But, you know that... Fuck, I always wanted the game because I never got to play it much. But it was that one back on the PS2, I want to say, where you made a creature.
Oh, yeah,
and
I was
tried
just about to say,
boo.
is it the game where you would like draw people and like have like play
Something
as
like
your
that.
creation? Yeah, that was Graffiti
And I tried to
Kingdom.
make Boo, and I was really bad. What's it called?
Graffiti Kingdom for PS2.
Oh, is it
Oh,
good?
that's your-
I don't remember.
I don't remember. It was just fun making your own characters.
Yeah,
I remember-
And then I just remember going to your house doing that, and then not playing the game. I think I ran around for a bit, laughed
Yeah,
at how
I
the Boo
don't
walked.
know if the game is good. It was just really fun to fuck with.
I don't know why that reminded me, but hearing that game for some reason reminded me of which I bought at Too Many Games, and I'm pretty
Reminded
sure
you
I'm
of what?
directly
You cut out.
responsible. Fuck you. That's what.
Oh,
It
Okay.
reminded me of Onimusha.
oh, okay.
So I bought Onimusha at Too Many Games this year, 1 and 2, and then in like not last month they're like, oh, it's coming to Switch, and I'm like, you fuck. So That's the game.
Just
Luckily,
go
I
refund
bought-
it, stupid.
Luckily, I purchased Dead series like Jak 3
Okay.
and Simpsons Hit and Run.
I enjoy Jak 3. Jak 2 is one of the worst.
No, I'm just saying. Like, luckily, I played it safe today, like this year at TMG, because I bought like Dead series that I know
I
are
gotcha,
gonna be
yeah.
like alive. Because I bought like a copy of Tak and the Power of Juju, because I know
Oh.
the series is never coming back after the Nickelodeon show.
Hey, you don't know that.
Throw
No,
back.
I know it. I'm front
Also,
back. buddy.
Moriarty is suggesting that there's not enough Craig.
Don't say his name. If you say his name, he's gonna come in.
I don't think these
God
two.
Damn it!
I don't
Hi,
think these.
Baldy.
Yeah, I don't.
What's up, Craig?
Hi, Mr.
Oh.
Bold. What are you
God
doing?
damn it.
I'm recording a podcast, Craig.
I'm not
Craig,
doing this.
My name is Craig. Hi. Who are you talking to? Can I have your headphones?
Don't take my headphones.
Hi, everybody.
Matt, get the crossbow.
My name is Craig.
I have a crossbow?
I have a cross.
Hold on, wait.
You have a bow.
What are you
Hold
guys
on.
doing? My name's Craig.
Oh, hey, look, I do have a crossbow. What the fuck?
My name's Craig Stroman.
Strowman?
Craig Stroman.
I thought you said Strawman. Is
I've
that a new?
changed-
Oh, that's right. Okay. Bolt has another character who is named
Don't
after
interrupt me, you fuck.
No.
My name is Craig Stroman. I changed my last name because my dad ran away. And I don't want his stupid last name anymore. I changed it to be after my hero, Braun Strowman.
Braun
but
Strowman?
Bolt has a
he's
character.
the next WWE Universal Champion. He's gonna beat Roman Reigns in the Hell in a Cell this Sunday for only $9.99 a month at WWE Network. It's in Chicago, I think. I don't know where it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna fly out. I'm gonna watch it on TV. I don't have money for that, but still.
Wait, you're gonna fly? You're gonna fly out there, but you're gonna go watch it on TV?
No, I was lying to you. I can't fly. I don't have the money, and I don't have.
Okay,
Yeah, but you can
perfect
just steal a
opportunity to
plane.
say, I can't fly, I have no wings.
That's what I just fucking said.
How does it feel to get owned, Matt?
By the way, fun fact, Travis, I just searched up Graffiti Kingdom. People are still using it, and they made Garnet from Steven Universe. So, good to know it's still an art program.
That's good.
I don't know what you just said, but that hurt me.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, but Bill, Matt, he also has a character named after a dear beloved friend of ours.
Joey?
What, are you talking about Fabby?
Yeah, Fabry.
My buddy
Oh.
Fabby?
No.
This,
You don't bring back that waffle man.
Do you want me to call him?
I'll call Fabio right now.
I'll call
Bet.
him. Hold on. Fabrizio!
Alright, what you want?
Hey, my buddies want to say hi to you. It's, there's Stinky, there's, Carl, and there's, Uncle.
Carl?
They didn't tell me their names because they're very rude people, but they want to say hi to you.
Alright, I'm on my way.
Alright, help me up in a little bit.
How do you do this without like breaking character?
What are you talking about?
God damn it. How do I get my friend back?
I want my family back. My dad left me a long time ago. He went for cigarettes. I've bought cigarettes. I put him in a trap so I could trap him, and he just hasn't come back. But I got some stray cats.
Have you checked the trap at all?
I have. There's a couple of stray cats there. I tried to pet one, but he bit me. And my mom said I'm not allowed to pet the stray cats in the traps anymore, so I just gotta kill him.
Wait. So you've left the cat in there? No. Wait.
The cat got addicted to cigarettes. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Not only did you pay for cigarettes, but you put the lighter in there. That's not what you do.
No, I didn't put the lighter in there. It came with one.
Wait, the cage is a lighter?
No, the cat came with the lighter. I don't know how it got in there. I said I'm sorry.
Apologies don't run in 2018.
I think the cat was already addicted to fucking cigarettes.
You cut out for me. So
I think that they're addicted to fucking.
All I'm saying is the cat had a lighter when he came in, so I don't know what he was smoking, but he was smoking something, and I told him it's not healthy, and he just scratched me. You gonna scratch me when I tell you that addiction is bad? That's what made my dad run away, because he wanted more cigarettes.
The cats are addicted to fucking.
Are you making fun of me?
Yeah,
You making fun of my voice?
I am.
Making fun of your
I'll have you know that I have a very hereditary condition that is called I'ma whip your ass!
Your shoes are small.
Don't talk shit about me ever again, or I'll find you. I'll find you, Stinky.
I have a hereditary condition called I'm gonna beat your ass. I have to remember that. I have to write that down. That was
Go
good.
ahead. I got time. Go find a pen.
I don't have a pen.
I'll fucking write it down.
Open up fucking Paint and just write ass.
Ass.
Alright. Alright.
I'm getting a little sleepy, my boys.
I think it's time to end.
I'm 3 hours ahead of you, and you're gonna say you're fucking sleepy?
Hey, you're 2 hours ahead of us, and I think
what
that.
do you think you are?
Wait, actually, wait.
No. He lives in the middle of the ocean.
Oh,
I live in that
you-
little. I
you live in
that little
Florida
coast upwards
plus.
No, I live in Newfoundland.
Nah, he lives in,
Newfoundland?
fucking,
Yeah,
Newfoundland.
lives in the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, you live in DLC World.
Yeah,
DLC World.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna say yeah.
You can download SeaWorld right now on your iPhone for $2.95.
SeaWorld?
I wish I had that kind of money, but I spent my last allowance.
You spend
I
your
don't-
last allowance on more cigarettes.
I thought maybe you would help, and I was wrong. I was very wrong. I know he's gone. I don't know where he went, but I miss him a lot.
Mood.
They come and go.
Did you check the garage?
Dad, where'd you go?
They come and go. It's okay.
Dad's not supposed to leave you like that.
Well, tell that to my dad.
It,
Oh fuck! Now it's real.
Everybody else I know has a dad that cares about him.
fuck, Mary, kill, Bolt, Fabrizio, or Craig.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go. I'll go see if I can get both back.
Fuck.
Bolt!
Oh, I thought he just said balls.
He's
Balls.
done. Come back.
Oh, okay, fine.
Alright, bye guys.
See ya.
God, this fucking
Sleep.
idiot. What did he say this time?
How do you do this to yourself?
Oh, you motherfuckers. He didn't call for Fabrizio, did he?
No! Oh no! No!
Did he
He
call
didn't.
Fabrizio?
He ask for a refund. Ask for a
It's your boy
refund.
Fabrizio back at it again here on the Bronze Bronzers, the show where I review games in regards to what type of tan lotion I think they'd be. I'm here to review 12 Switch. They call it a 12 out of 10 because it's pretty good. It's a motion control game. I don't remember the rest of the script, but
Hey, what's your opinion on Overcooked then?
I don't have one. I don't think I will have one because cooking's for losers.
So what about Dragon Cook or Cafe or whatever?
I'm gonna kill you, Matt. I'll
I'm-
slaughter you where you stand.
I'm a
Okay,
big
you know what?
fan of Dragon Cook because I like Dragon Balls because it's not an anime. Anime's bad.
I'm
but
gonna
Dragon
say it.
Balls is good.
I'm gonna say it, Bill. Dragon Cafe is just dragon made, but
No.
better.
No. No.
Are
No.
these guys in a
Your body
fucking.
pillow is now new.
No!
I mean, no.
I don't know what's going on right now, but I think there's some kind of anime
I'm
shit.
insulting Bill and his life.
I'm not a fan of anime. Bad.
Bill, I know you don't want to accept it, but Dragon Maid is a trash
I'm
anime.
building an airplane to come say fuck you.
Bill, it's a trash anime. You know it.
I know
I
it's a
know,
trash. I
everyone
know
knows
it's
it.
bad, but so much better than that crock of shit game.
See, Mary in the chat agrees. Anime is bad.
It is.
Well, you know what, Mary? No.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what?
No.
So, what are we doing here?
Most
What?
of them sticking around.
Why was I
Jerking
summoned?
We talking
I
about.
don't know. You
Who?
really weren't summoned. We asked for a refund.
Nobody asked for you.
We talking
It said
about
shipment
anime?
canceled, and now you're here.
I don't know. I'm reading through this chat right here, and I see that someone wanted Fabrizio in this chat. So somebody asked for me. Oh, someone wants me to rate this podcast? Okay.
What kind of bronzer?
I'm going to give this one a L'Oreal Pure Baby Tannin Lotion because these are a bunch of babies.
That's a baby.
Mic drop.
You need
That's the Blue Yeti. That's my buddy's Blue Yeti. I dropped it.
It's not good.
We should just end the podcast there. We got a rating. Bolt broke his fucking, or sorry, Fabrizio broke Bolt's Blue Yeti. I don't know where else we could go from here.
Hey, I don't know what you think's going on here.
I could break my blue snowball.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
I'll tell you that Bolt is a friend of mine.
No, he's not.
Are you just like tied up in the background, Bolt? Are you okay? Do you
If
I don't think he can
do
just
this,
send somebody.
He's gonna get angry and screech at me, so I have.
Do it. Hey, you shut your mouth back there.
I hate life.
Dude,
You
same
and
with
me both, buddy. I live under the couch.
Is this canon?
Is this
no, it's
lore?
Christian.
Are we?
Mr.
him
Golden
some,
Bolt back there
whatever
is too
floor?
fancy. I had gotten a job. I worked at a Walmart for about 3 weeks, but then they kicked me out because I was stealing their tan lotion. And so I had no place to go. So Mr. Bolt took me in, and he decided that I would edit his videos. I would pay rent was by editing his videos for him. So I sit in the shower, I turn the shower on, and I edit videos.
Wait, you edit videos on my laptop in the shower?
You shut your fucking mouth. You didn't ask how it was supposed to be done. You said it'd be done, and I get it done.
Is that why it's running so slow?
Shut your... Hold on, I swear to God, I'll find you.
Wait, but he's right next to you.
No, you don't know that.
Wait.
Sounds like you're just a coward.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hijack the podcast.
Fucking like the screen that starts going fizzy, and there's just a giant bolt in the middle of the screen.
It's just Fabrizio with his review of 12 Switch.
Do you want me to review 12 Switch? I can review 12 Switch.
What is 12 Switch?
Hold on, I will find it. I will find my script and I will read you this review live
Matt,
on Twitch.
Matt, what have you done?
What is this? I asked a simple question.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna lay on the floor now.
Yeah,
Okay, you guys
we're
ready
gonna
for
get a
my
live
12 Switch
reading
review?
of 12 Switch.
Are you guys ready for my 12 Switch review?
All right.
Sure.
Hey, it's your boy Fabrizio back at it again here on Bronze Bronzer. This the show where I review games in regards to what type of tan lotion I think they'd be. I'm here to review 12 Switch. They call it that because it's a 12 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a multiplayer game, sort of like Wii Sports or Kinect Sports or PlayStation Sports, where you play a bunch of different mini games with motion controls. Not much happens on screen, though, as you're supposed to look at one another rather than the TV and feel the game work via the Switch's high-def rumble.
Are you talking 1-2 Switch?
I really like the narrative. It kept me
Oh my
engrossed
God.
the entire time. Watching Fat Cowman learn and grow and develop as a character was really heartwarming. I didn't like the bank rob thought, though. She gave me some mixed signals. Really learning the characters as you went through the game was amazing. I really liked Joel. His development from fearless, jaded survivor into caring, protective father figure was really well executed. I liked it a lot. I'll give it a B for banging. Most importantly, there are some great mini games. Actually, there's 28 of them. There's Sexually Pleasure a Cow, there's Guns but slow, there's Baseball, there's Zelda, there's Harry Potter, there's Harry Face, there's Guitars, there's Flag Wave, I like that one a lot. There's Answer the Phone, there's Answer a Baby, there's Just Dance, there's Sword Fight, that one's good, I like that one a lot. There's also Sword Catch, I like that one too, it's not as fun, but I like it a little bit. There's Japanese Baseball, there's, is that Harambe? That's Harambe, that's too
That's
soon.
too
I don't
soon.
like that, that's offensive. None of the games are really a one-player thing, though, so it's not really going to be a fit if you don't got no friends. The game says it compensates 20 people, but I don't know how you'd fit that many people in a small room, though, so I don't recommend you do more than, I don't know, like 12, I don't know.
playing We Have 12 Friends.
I like this one a lot. I'm going to give this a Gold Bond Ultimate 2% Eczema Relief because it's actually really good. It's just better with friends. Make sure you subscribe. You at me on Twitter at Dogs Are My Favorite. I'm on LinkedIn. I got a job now. I've been looking for a job. It's been really sad, but I got one lately, so you can at me on Xbox Live. I'm PlaySlayer68. I've got a Hotmail now, so that's pretty good. And I'm at P.O. Box 5. So send me some sandwiches. No provolone. You find provolone, I cut you.
I want to imagine that you have that whole thing just memorized.
Yeah.
I did for a little bit because I didn't do no videos after.
I looked up PlaySlayer68 as like an account for like Xbox. It didn't work. I'm sad.
Oh yeah, I changed my account name to Craig Strom. Craig really wanted to play on his name. I don't know why. I told him he might get dixed, but did anyway.
Dixed?
Dixed.
That's what they said it is. That's what the Mr. Hacker and my friend said. They called it Dixon one another.
Dixed.
You ever just get dixed online?
Oh yeah.
If you ask nicely.
Matt, no.
But yeah, if you look up
How do you get Dick from Richard?
if you look up 12 Switch on YouTube, it's on 2 videos, so make sure you watch it.
It is a genuinely pretty great video.
I also have a video where this dog's fucking.
He's not wrong.
Wait. Hold on. Is that on your Live Leak account? Look at
No,
that.
it's on YouTube. That's my movie.
No, that's a cat's fucking video. I know this by heart. I've seen that one multiple times.
Alright, I gotta go. I'm getting diarrhea. Bye.
Come back. Answer your question, son.
Coward.
Okay, what did he talk about? He just ran away to the bathroom and took my laptop.
Did you lock the bathroom at least?
I don't know what he does. I just let him live.
I just let him live.
Just let him live his life. Let him win.
God, poor Fabrizio. I didn't know you put up with so much.
Don't pity him. You don't know.
Fab life.
Feel bad about the diarrhea, you know?
Nah.
It hurts.
I hear him screeching in the bathroom already, so something went down. What did you say to him?
I don't know. He just started
Did you
talking
insult
about
his
wanting to
tattoos?
switch.
He had
His tattoos?
If you insulted his tattoos, I swear he's gonna be crying for weeks. He may not show it, but he will.
The tattoo.
What's the
have
tattoo?
emotion.
What's the tattoo though? What's the tattoo?
They're just water tattoos. I don't know why. He just puts them on every day and pretends
Wait.
they're tattoos.
I'm crying.
Just puts on a bunch of this fucking like.
It's just tattoos.
He's
What
like
do
got
you want?
like the butterflies and Star Fox.
I don't imagine Star Fox. I imagine a lot of Cars tattoos. Like he's got a bunch of
Cars.
tomato
It's
tattoos
got a lightning
just
between.
across his arm. This one's my tomato arm, so I could see my wife.
Jesus.
The only thing bigger than my Ford is my wife.
Oh my god.
Whoa, Matt.
No, it's a video.
Whoa.
I promise.
Whoa.
I like to think that Frozen is in the same universe.
Okay, goodbye. Here's your mic.
Yeah.
Hello.
That was a great
Frozen
time
is
for
just in the
his...
same universe as tattoos. That's the canon. That's the canon.
No, I'm leaving it. I don't know what you heard, but I'm leaving it.
Just Frozen is. I can't believe Frozen is in the same universe as.
Fucking FBI grabbed him and muted him.
No, I said that I always like to think that.
God damn it.
Did it not pick up or something?
No.
I like to think that Frozen is in the same universe as
Shut up.
okay as Cars. It's the same cinematic universe. Cars takes place first.
This is a
Why isn't
secret we were
Cars
never
and
meant to
Kingdom
know.
Hearts? Is my question.
Yeah.
Put them in.
How
Put
come?
Mater in.
How come? Fucking Kingdom Hearts has like Big Hero. I was about to say My Hero Academia. Big Hero
I'm
6.
so-
Oh, I would buy it.
I'm legitimately happy that Big Hero 6 is in Kingdom Hearts because that just sold me.
I loved that movie.
Yeah, playing anything will sell me to Kingdom Hearts.
I don't want Kingdom
you
Hearts.
like movies, Matt.
I don't like movies. Fuck you.
Look
Fair.
at me, I'm Matt. I think the Uncharted series is the best film ever made.
I like how robotic it is there.
You just turned into a robot midway through saying that.
The angrier you get, the more robotic you get. You're like,
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that's my impression of Matt. He's just actually a robot.
No, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Welcome
What
to
do you
the
mean, no?
floor.
So Moriarty said, "Okay,
My name is
good
Matt.
work."
I'm the android sent by Cyberlife.
Bolt's best guest star by forever. Bye, Moriarty.
Lieutenant Bolt, I'm the android sent by Cyberlife. Wake up, Lieutenant!
Why does that peak so perfectly?
Yeah, right. Whenever Bill slaps his desk, it's the best.
I don't know. My desk just emits the best noise. And I don't know why, but every time I do it, I just know someone's hearing an echo as well. It's great.
That's just too perfect. It was even better when you and Casper were like having a desk slap off.
Oh no, that's because I like put my microphone game up to like like the max I can, and I just smack my desk. Like I fucking like fist pound that shit. I think the last time we did that, I actually had like this enormous spill of Pepsi just over my floor. And I didn't clean it up, and then like I step in it, and I just feel the stickiness, and I'm like, I have to deep clean my entire floor.
Oh, that reminds me. I was at work today, and somebody dropped a thing of water, and it like spilled open. So I just took the rubber standing mat in front of the cash register and just moved it over the way. I'm in charge of the front end of this store.
I remember once that I saw a copy for like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on the floor, and I just like pushed it like in between the racks so that way no one could ever have to buy that ever again.
God damn it.
You saved a child that day.
I've saved a child. Sports. Oh man.
Would you rather him buy Mario and Sonic at the Olympics or NBA 2K18?
I mean,
so
2K18 is now 3 cents, so...
Oh, I mean,
hey.
you're right.
So do these usually go this long, or am I can't?
No, this is
podcast.
This is
This
gone.
is actually like the longest it's been.
Yeah, this is
Good.
like the longest it's gone on, and I've enjoyed it. This was
The
fun.
longer we go, the more mechanical shit posting we add to the
Yeah.
mix of it. I'm guessing, and honestly, that's all I can ask for.
The more I'll be
Hey,
real.
Matt.
I was thinking about wrapping it up a bit. Oh no.
I feel like as soon as Craig got involved, I killed podcast viewership.
Oof.
That's why you don't invite Craig ever.
That's
Matt,
okay.
how much do I have
Craig's a
to
good
pay
boy.
you to go whip a PS2 controller at your girlfriend right now?
I'll
do
do
it
it
for
right
free.
now. Yeah, like honestly. Fuck that bitch.
Whoa.
Hey, I love her, just not enough not to hit her. You know?
He loves a
Oh my
girl.
God, Matt.
Oh my God, Matt.
Would you like to rephrase that?
No.
Okay.
Are we recording still?
Yeah,
we're
we've
still
been
live.
recording.
Oh, well. Please don't use us as evidence.
You know what, Matt? When your career finally boosts off, I'm going to like link this to like your boss.
Like, let's just hold on to it. Keep it on a flash drive that we hide under our beds.
God, can I tell you guys a story before we end this about
Yeah.
how we got a furry get caught with 1 terabyte of furry porn on the school computer?
What?
I don't want to know about that, actually.
I want to know
What's
this
the
story.
best story? It's the best story.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Bolt's
Hit me
probably
with it.
very confused, but also very intrigued, probably.
When I was in school, we just played Halo off of flash drives.
No.
No.
So in my high school, we either did 2 things.
Look at furry porn?
Yeah, you either look at furry porn or you play Smash. And normally we play Smash.
Yeah.
However, there was this one kid. I'm not gonna say his name. But he got caught with like someone like found out what his login was, and like they logged into his computer, and there was just a file typed in as like not safe for work or something. So like everybody like started crowding around the computer, and then like we just read like 10,000 after like 10,927 files have been read, and we're like, what do you mean? And then like we just click on like the folder, and there's just section after section of just porn.
I mean,
That's
do you
incredible.
not categorize your porn?
No.
I don't need to.
Cowards.
The internet does that for me.
Exactly.
No, just categorize it. Download it. If the internet ever drops, or if you can't pay for it, then you have porn, and it's categorized. It's like your own personal porn hub. It's perfect.
Yeah, but like, that's whack.
Nah, you're whack.
You're whack.
Nah.
You know what? I can whack after internet goes down, so fuck you.
Volt's whack.
Bolt is
whack
whack.
on, wax off. You know.
I swear to God, Travis, I see that. I see that, and you know what? That's pretty much Kiwami 2 in a nutshell.
Alright.
For our audio listeners, you guys ever seen the Kanye Roblox meme?
It's a
Yeah.
fucking...
Don't worry about it.
Oof.
Didn't like little like who was this like?
He fucking collaborated with a rapper named Lil Pump.
Yeah, didn't Lil Pump go to jail
Yeah.
right after that?
He's been to jail several times.
You know what?
Hey,
and
you don't know
right,
that.
I mean, you're right. All right, I think that's a good point to leave off on the stream. Thank you for everyone, all 0 of our viewers, and just clicked to 0.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone that stuck around. I had fun regardless of viewer turnout. Bolt, thank you so much for joining us.
Don't
Actually,
talk to me.
Jeez.
Bolt, talk to me.
All right, later. No, but we've been trying to get you on for a while, and thanks for
Yeah, we've
finally
been trying
coming
to
on.
schedule this, so finally our schedule's all lined up. This was fun, I think. So
Very,
yeah.
very.
should I do a plug for our 0 viewers? Or...
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be posting this on the YouTube page eventually. So, I mean,
okay,
if you want,
so for the 0 of you that hang out the entire hour, the extended Lord of the Rings cut of this podcast. You can find me and all of my game reviews and all that sort of stuff over on youtube.com/thegoldenbolt. I do a couple game reviews, normally 1 or 2 a month. And in addition, my secondary series, I review all of the free PlayStation Plus games on PS4 each and every month. And I do some other stuff too. It's fun. I'm a good channel that you're watching. If you are watching, don't watch. If you're not, do watch. Okay, thanks.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
that was
I don't know.
that was the best outro we could have gotten. Matt, would you like an outro for you?
Yeah,
I'm singling Matt out.
dude, don't.
You're on the spot.
Yeah,
All right, my outro is like it's like a guttural noise, like.
Can that be a thing now? Can that just be going
Can I, wait, can,
All right, Travis, tell me your guttural noise.
like I almost get like
That's
the
her way
Donkey
to close
Kong
it out.
Country. The
it's like the fucking Donkey Kong Country 2, like,
I
Kremlins.
just said that.
Oh, my bad. I'm tired.
Really quick. Okay, when Travis is over last, I fucking deadass look at. I paused The Office. I think we were watching The Office. I look at him and say, "Hey, Travis, I learned a new noise."
Yeah, I sent fucking Bolt that fucking
Yeah, I saw-
Snapchat, and his response was like, fuck, what was it? It was something like, I hope she fixes his car or something like that.
Good.
Yeah, he fucking,
That was
we're,
about.
we're watching The Office, and out of nowhere, he just pauses it, makes that fucking noise, and then I pull out my phone, I'm like, wait, no, do that again, I have to record it, and then by
And I
that
said,
time...
my car sounds like this, and then I couldn't do it. I was
Yeah,
laughing.
he couldn't do it right, and then fucking Chiori pops up on the fucking intercom, just like, hey, can you stop? And we just break out laughing.
Why the fuck do you have an intercom in your house?
I have Google Home. Travis is just too poor. I'm
Oh,
calling
that's
you
what it
out.
is. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Whoa.
I'm very
Ooh.
poor.
Hey, Google
Alright, cool,
Home's like
that's a great
$50.
point to end it. Thank you.
Yeah.